to the Himalayas!
There's no escape.
Multiverse is real.
You kids are gonna love it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Multiverse Monologues, the podcast show where we like to travel across the multiverses and fandoms that we love to talk about the movies and television shows that accompany those universes. I am your co-host, Ben Rayside, and it has been some time since we've been on the mic. I did, yes. And it's good to be back, and I know we haven't uploaded a lot, but it is the end of the year / it's already the new year by the time this comes out, and we can't just sit here and not talk about all of the fine cinema that came out in 2024, so that's what this is going to be. We are recapping everything that came out in 2024, and it's something that we have called and dubbed the Multiverse Awards. This is the award show for everything that came out in 2024, and I could not think of doing this with any other two guys. First and foremost, Mr. Ethan Wentzloff. Ethan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Ben. And I know you can't think of doing this with anyone else, but I mean, contractually obligated. We're the only two you can do it with, so suck it. But
Copyright.
No, I'm excited to be back, and I'm hoping that this podcast spices up your feed on this Monday morning as we jump back into this. You know.
Yes, it's going to be great. It's good to jump back in. And someone who I always love to jump back in with is Mr. Micah Head. Micah, how are you?
Where are you guys jumping into?
I am doing great. You know, it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys, and I love being able to sit here and talk about movies. And, you know, jokes aside, we did outlive the Talk to a podcast.
Oh,
I will say, the podcast began and ended in between our hiatus. So I'd say that's an accomplishment. And you know what another accomplishment is, guys? We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, we did.
Congratulations,
Despite
good.
not posting an episode for months, you know, we hit that landmark. And Mike, I love that you ground our episode in 2024 by referencing the
That's right.
Talk to a podcast.
Hey, it's as this podcast is an emblem of 2024, so was the Talk to a podcast.
Right. It's not about, you know, who rose to success first, but who outlived.
Exactly.
We outlasted.
We didn't rug pull anybody.
Outwit, outplay, and outlast all the rest.
That's right.
Yeah.
Multiverse Monologues is still posting, and I don't see
here.
anything from the Talk to a podcast. So
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you
Yes.
for watching and sticking with us, even though we were in a hiatus. We're glad to be back. We're ready to talk about
Yes.
movies. Ready to give out some awards.
Yes, we are. So basically how this is going to roll is we are going to sit here and we're going to give out categories, much like we did last year. We have an added category this year. And basically we're just going to go through these. And the only difference is this year, every single category is going to be a draft. What does that mean? It means once it has been said, once it has been placed on your ranking, no one else here can use that spot. If I put, let's just say I put Madam Web at number 1.
Ooh.
These guys can't take Madam Web.
Now, Ben, is it locked for the rest of the night, or is it unlocked for every other? So I can pick Madam Web for every category?
I mean,
There's no category lock. Once a category is moved on,
if you
it
want
resets.
If you want to, you could pick that for every category. Now,
Micah, you're free.
There was a lot of other great
he's good
projects.
because his top project of the year is the Talk to a podcast. So
True.
you and Madam Web
Every episode.
Yeah.
Can you log the Talk to a Have we looked at that?
I think we've talked about the Talk to a podcast enough.
That's right. Let's get into it, guys. So let's get into our first category, which would be the best performance of 2024. We had a lot of great projects, and this is not just locked to movies. This is also TV shows. You could go documentaries if you wanted to, but I mean, I got to assume there's going to be mostly movies and television shows. But there was a lot of good stuff in 2024. I don't know if 2024 was as good or as electric as 2023 was. There was a lot.
Year.
There was a lot of good stuff in 2023, a lot of good stuff coming out in succession. It's a little more sparse in 2024, I would say.
Came out in 2023.
That is true. Aren't they done with that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. But first category is going to be best performance here. And Ethan has put together an excellent draft order for us based off of our scores from last year. Ethan, you want to explain that?
We're actually going to hold off on that until the later categories. So right now, the draft order remains open, up for grabs. So Ben, I'm going to hand it over to you because I want to unveil the draft order for the categories that punch.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting.
Yes.
I'm excited to see that.
Okay. All right.
Stay tuned.
I like it. So are you saying that I get to go first?
Ben, go first.
Oh, my goodness. That is
Pressure.
Okay. Not really, because I was hoping.
Madam Web? Craven?
Dakota Johnson? Oh, man.
Ben, we'll go right to left
Okay.
until we hit our best of the year and then most anticipated. Then I'll unveil that order.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So we'll start with me for best performance. Lots of good ones to pick through. I had a lot of good options, but I have to go with a guy who has proven himself in a lot of other projects in the past, but I think this might be his best role that he's ever had in his entire life. I'm going for Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Oh,
Colin Farrell as the
okay.
What, Mike? I want to know what you thought.
I thought you were gonna pick such a snoozy take as Timmy.
No. Okay, an argument could be made that Paul
but
Atreides is his best
everyone
performance.
knows that.
I'm not going
Colin
with Timmy
Farrell's
T.
a great pick.
That's a good pick, Ben.
Good pick.
He was
I'm not
on my
going with
list.
Timmy T.
He was.
Dude, his performance. I think we all watched The Penguin, correct?
Bullseye.
It was fantastic.
People love our bullseye short on YouTube, guys. Top viewed, short.
Which is
Ever.
crazy because
Colin Farrell.
we didn't like that. And he has completely, in my opinion, redeemed himself in comic book form with this performance across every single episode. It's electric. It's everything that he delivered in the Batman to, yeah, dude, right? But it's everything he delivered in Batman in that, and then he just amplifies it. And he plays very well off of Victor and Sophia Falcone in that show. If you haven't watched Penguin, please give it a watch. But Colin Farrell is my pick for number one.
It's crazy that Colin Farrell is so huge now because of the Batman, but he never really went away. Like, he still made movies for the past 25 years. It's just, I guess nobody watched the Yorgos Lanthimos movies.
Well, they're definitely for a more mature audience, I would say.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up watching those ones. But
No.
I think this would definitely be considered among his best, if not his very best. So Colin Farrell is mine.
The makeup, too, he's unrecognizable as the Penguin. And it helps when the story was as good as it was to really solidify him as a comic book villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be that good that it's probably why Batman 2 is being rewritten. I'm sure they're going to include him in a lot of it.
His role probably definitely got beefed.
Oh, yeah.
Beefed up. Yeah.
But I know that this won't be the last time Penguin is talked about tonight, so
probably not.
We'll
don't
see.
exhaust ourselves quite yet.
Yes. Micah, best performance.
All right, the best performance for me was one that was kind of a curveball. I didn't expect this heartthrob to capture the nation as he did. I'm going to go with Glenn Powell in Hitman, specifically.
Oh, okay.
I thought he did an excellent job portraying all these different... I don't know if you guys know about Hitman, but he's like this interrogator guy who goes kind of incognito as these different characters.
I believe he's a school teacher.
Yeah,
he's
a teacher. Yeah. He's a professor at a college who dresses up and becomes these different characters to allure the criminals into confessing that they are going to do a crime, and then they're arrested for these crimes. It kind of reminds me of what's that Colin Farrell, Tom Cruise movie that I watched this year?
With me?
Yeah, no, I watched it by myself, but I borrowed it from you.
You borrowed it from me.
Yeah,
Colin Farrell, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Spielberg. About the future.
Minority Report.
Minority
Yes.
Report, yeah. It's kind of like that, but not futuristic.
Minority Report's a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked Hitman. I thought it was a very solid story. And the final act, very entertaining. If you guys haven't seen it, it was a very early movie this year, if you missed it, on Netflix.
Yeah.
Really great movie. It's one of those.
Richard Linklater.
Yeah, Richard Linklater. It was Ethan's introduction to him, right?
No, I know him from School of Rock.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh. But it was so early in the year that on all the services, IMDb, Letterboxd, it says 2023.
Oh, wow.
Because it was in Film Fest and stuff 2023. But definitely recommend. If you watch Twisters and you loved Glenn Powell, you want more of him, give Hitman a shot.
That's
great.
Very interesting. He's certainly having himself a career year last year and now this. I guess he was in Top Gun as well, Maverick in 22. He's certainly rising among the ranks. An unexpected pick, Micah. An unexpected pick, but I like it. I haven't seen Hitman. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yes, definitely add it to your list. Especially, I see you've got your notes app open.
I do.
There's I'm not looking at your notes app. I'm just saying there's a very cool scene that they use the notes app with.
Really?
Yeah. And,
okay.
That's that final act I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're right.
Really great scene in the movie, if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Adria Giorno, who's from, I think that's how you say her name. It's Glenn Powell's co-star in that movie, but she's from Andor. She plays Fix. What's her name?
Bix.
Yeah,
Yep.
Bix in Andor. So it was cool to see her in a movie.
Coolest part, based on a true story. For most of it, 99%. There's like a scene where they kill somebody. That's not true, but it's funny. So,
this completely fell under my radar last year. I don't even think I remember seeing this. I remember probably seeing your guys' Letterboxd reviews, but man, okay.
It's good.
Gonna have to check it out.
Yeah,
Ethan.
It was good. All right. My pick, best performance of the year, is someone that we've loved for a long time. I'm going Chris Evans in Red 1.
Oh! Sweep, red sweep.
All right, no, I'm not gonna go
Sonic.
Chris Evans. I'm not talking about Sonic today. And if you do, I'm gonna have to throw something at you. That's why I've got a big cup of coffee.
We also have a hammer right here if you want to get really angry.
But no, as I was sitting there and thinking, I'm like, what is one of the performances that I really just loved seeing this year? And there are a lot that came to mind, but one that really jazzed us up. And all of us collective, we saw this in the theaters together, but one that just thrilled us and had us doing backflips. I'm going to go Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Oh! No way.
Dude, I didn't think Daredevil Wolverine would have been, or Deadpool Wolverine would have been talked about today.
I think it might be talked about again later.
Great.
But I loved Wesley Snipes as Blade, and I was sitting next to my buddy Josh Nielsen, and then you two were also right next to me, and because we were like, who's going to be in that movie? And then I said, if Wesley Snipes
was in that
we're
movie.
dying. And we did die. And not only was he in it, but he was super cool. He said the line.
It's only going to be one blade.
It's only ever going to be one blade. And then some mother F was always trying to ice skate uphill. Great. I love seeing that. I almost went Hugh Jackman, but the what Wesley Snipes coming back meant, I picked him.
You know, Elektra was my second.
Yes, Elektra was tip of my tongue.
Jennifer Garner.
Yes.
She was just so good. Yeah, very unexpected.
You know what, though? Channing Tatum did a stellar job in his Gambit role.
He did give
us
us
not joking. I loved him.
No, he gave us a good month of memes. I'm about to make a name of myself. Yeah, you know? Okay. Dude, okay. All right. I like it. Great picks.
Different. I know it's not the lead of a movie, but I wanted to give a shout out to Wesley
the
Snipes.
First category strong. That was I'm proud of us.
Mike, you're
Guys,
shocked.
Wow.
Honestly.
No sign of Timmy T, huh?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not
All
me.
right, next category. What do we got, Ethan?
That's Ben.
Next category. Next category is, so we start off positive. We gotta go a little negative here with the most disappointing project of 2024. And for this to count, you only get one. You had to have a lot of hype for this going into the year. This was probably on your list of like top 5 most anticipated from last year, and it just really let you down. You have to have somebody. It doesn't necessarily have to be the worst project of the year. It just has to be a very disappointing project. And start with Micah?
Start with Micah.
Yes.
Micah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this wasn't a movie I had in my anticipated, but it was a movie that was severely overhyped. The trailers going into it, I think it was Neon that produced this movie. They did a great job advertising it, and legendary, star actor Nicolas Cage made his appearance this year in this movie, and really let me down. Really let me down. I did not like Longlegs. Boom, boom. Oh, Ethan and I watched this, and oh man, it was his most Nick Cage performance, but also too disturbing. All right, so for me, what really disappointed me was that they had a really great setup.
Spoilers? Are you doing spoilers?
Spoilers, but not really. I mean, it's all horror cliches. They set it up really well.
Great. I loved the beginning
first
of this movie.
hour and a half was really solid, and then the last half hour, once Nick Cage kind of goes center stage, and it turns into like a Satanist plot, it lost me. I think that Satanist plot is such a cheesy way to have a horror movie, just relying on your like, oh yeah, Satanism, it's mysterious and scary. Why not come up with some other cult? Why not make your own thing? Like, this is so chewed in.
And just for the record, people do love this movie.
Yeah.
It was on a lot of top 10
And it was
lists of the
good
year.
for the first hour and a half.
But I do agree with you where that ending was. I feel like it undermined the whole thing. It
Yeah,
felt
they tried
like
to
a
do
really
like an Annabelle thing. And
smart movie, and then it was like, actually, here this thing's possessed.
yeah, like it could have been more about her mental illness, and it could have been more about like her upbringing, and it just ended up being thrown away and some other thing. And I don't know, it could have been a lot smarter, like what Ethan said. So biggest disappointment. At least I wasn't super hyped up to it for the whole year waiting for it, and it was just like a week-long thing. And if not for the trailer cycle and the advertising for it, I wouldn't have gone to see it. So, I mean, yeah.
And the
That's all I
early
gotta say.
reviews, people were loving it.
Yeah,
So,
people were loving it at first, and then it kind of...
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's all I got to say.
So-
Disappointed.
So it wasn't Nicolas Cage that ruined the movie for you. It's just
In a way.
really, because it
Yeah.
sounds like
He did an amazing job of playing that character. Like, he killed it, but he also killed it, you know? So, that is the
He was great, but he made the movie
Yeah,
bad.
he really leaned into that. I'm all down for Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage and doing Nicolas Cage things.
okay.
And that's what he did
Okay.
with the character. If not for his character, it wouldn't have been as memorable.
Yeah,
But also, I was cringing when he was on. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Long legs. Good pick from Micah. Ethan.
Yeah.
pick.
All right. Noah.
disappointed.
Bad pick. Yeah.
Good,
Right.
bad pick for Micah.
Let's hear a bad pick from Ethan.
This one was one that was on my most anticipated list going into this year, and it's one that I hate putting on here because I did like a lot of this. I think you know where I'm going,
Yep,
Ben.
I do.
I liked a lot of this. I'm doing The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, the return of Michonne and Rick Grimes. You know, The Walking Dead ended last year, but these characters had left years and years before the show ended. So, you know, say whatever you want about that show, people love Rick Grimes. And I was excited to see him come back. And the thing with this is 4 out of the 6 episodes I think are really, really good. And specifically episode 4, incredibly solid. But the thing is, it felt like so much went into this, and then the finale really sucked. Finale was terrible. We watched it together, and we're sitting there like, it felt like they had more than this. It ended really weird. They rushed the ending, and then it wasn't even as, you know, ceremonious as you hoped it would be. It's kind of like, okay, Rick came back in a bang, and then now it's like a whimper. And it killed the Walking Dead universe for me. I was trying to keep up with some
How
of
many
the
shows
spinoffs.
were there this year?
There are way
Weren't
too
there
many.
like 3 this year.
Way too many. Yeah. Daryl, Maggie Negan. I don't even pay attention anymore. But I
Running
was
into the
really,
ground.
really excited for this. And there was one specific episode in the middle that really, Andrew Lincoln really got to show his acting chops, and it really tied back to the series really well too. But they couldn't stick the landing. So this one goes there, unfortunately.
The episode you're referring to is, I think, episode 4.
Yeah.
And that was Denai Guerrera. She actually wrote, Michonne, she wrote
That's
that
true.
episode. I'm not kidding you. On that episode, I think it's the only time for a 2024 project this year that I genuinely teared up because of how good Andrew Lincoln, and I'm right there with you.
And
Ethan.
they tie it back to Carl in The Walking Dead really well.
It's everything we wanted to see for 4 episodes. It was fantastic television. And then the last 2, I'm right there with you. It really disappointed. It's on my list
And
as well.
also, they freaking got Terry O'Quinn from Lost. John Locke from Lost. They brought him in, and he had
what?
He had like 4 scenes, and then what a waste of an actor.
Yep.
The show that died.
It could have been. Yeah, right. Talk about the ones who live. Yeah, it's a
show
good. It's a
couldn't live.
good pick, Ethan. Very disappointing. Even while you're watching it, you have all this hyped up anticipation for it, and then to be let down like that, it's just no good.
Because it was so weird. Because genuinely, like, parts of it were incredible.
Yeah.
My dad is a huge Walking Dead fan. Even he fell off this year.
Yeah. It's too much. It's just too much. Like you said, you can't even keep track of it. I agree.
We don't have enough time to watch all the good things coming out. You know, I can't keep up with things that maybe I might like. It's hard.
That's why I haven't watched any Star Wars. Although I hear Skeleton Crew is good.
I don't blame you. Skeleton Crew is what you'd expect.
I love Skeleton Crew. I don't know what Ben's on. Me and Pastor Phil Chapman, we go crazy for Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
All
We
right.
need to have a conversation about that when the time. I mean, I guess it would be
Ben's
going.
disappointing pick.
Yeah, I guess it would be into 2025.
Finale's
so-
coming up, so
Yes,
we could.
that's true.
If we're back, we could be back, Ben.
True. I actually am. So if you didn't say Once Who Lived, I was going to do it.
Okay.
But I am going to go with actually a Star Wars project this year. It's not The Acolyte.
Okay, good.
Because I didn't watch The Acolyte.
I was going to
watched
say
3
this
episodes.
doesn't count if you didn't finish it.
I'm not counting The Acolyte.
Wait,
I couldn't even watch The Acolyte this year. What I did watch was Bad Batch Season 3. It was
really?
on my most anticipated. And it started off interesting.
Series finale?
Yeah, at the last
it.
season.
Okay.
And it really just was a dud of an ending of a season. There was a lot that they set up in the first 2 seasons, and it could have been an electric final season, but it ultimately just fell very flat. They decided to take the main characters and have them be the main focus of the story and not delve into this clone stormtrooper rebellion.
How
that
dare
they've
they
been
focus
setting
on the
up.
main characters, Micah?
Oh, they're only supposed to be a plot device.
But when those characters are put in scenarios that are not interesting, and the characters themselves, I hate to say it, are not that interesting, even the development that they do give them falls flat. And that's exactly what happened in Bad Batch Season 3. You are left very unsatisfied with a ton of dangling plot threads that you'd rather be watching or rather have answered, and you're left with what seems like the scraps. And you can tell because
Box of scraps.
Yeah, it seems like Lucasfilm wanted to do something huge for the finale, but I think there was a lot of other politics in the background, and they decided to keep it very small. They didn't need to do that. And I don't know where it happened. I know a lot of people were satisfied with the ending. I was not one of them, and I really did not like the end of The Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch.
It
goes
was-
down on
it
the
was bad.
most disappointing.
It was one of my most anticipated, and it goes
Wow.
in my most disappointed.
Yeah, I watched
this
The
year.
Bad Batch, and I pulled up the IMDb to see like what because I don't remember it. Like thinking back, I don't even remember what happens, and I remember not hating the ending. I mean, it's got a 9.1 on IMDb, so people do like the finale. Yeah, but I just don't remember it.
It's very forgettable. They had a concept that they could have used, and they didn't use it. So maybe revisiting it one day will be fine when they come out with the Bad Batch complete series on Steelbook. But that'll be a long time from now, if Disney decides to do that. But
If they do that.
that rounds out
see.
our most disappointing projects of 2024. Moving on to the next one. Now we go positive. And this one was a nice one that we added last year. Gives us a chance to talk about our ever-expanding Letterboxd accounts. This is the
Letterboxd
best.
accounts linked below if
Boom.
anyone's interested. No one
Thank you,
cares.
Ethan.
No one
Thank you,
cares.
Ethan.
Follow us, like all of our reviews.
This is the best new movie / TV series that you watched in 2024 that was not released in 2024. It could be anything that you watched. Now, you do get one pick, and it's a draft, but we all watched a lot of different things.
Is
this year,
anyone
so
picking the series?
So do
No.
No.
4 honorable mentions.
Yeah,
One you
so
talk about.
best new movie we saw that's
Pretty
not from
much.
2024.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yes. It can be from any year, any project. You take time to talk about your honorable mentions if you want, but settle in on one project. And I think we all have. This one starts with Ethan.
Okay. I might cheat a little. Can I cheat?
Yeah.
Can I cheat? So
We cheated last year.
going into this year,
every single category last year.
sweet. Going into this year, I'd not seen a movie from this director at all, and I watched at least 8 of this director. Micah, do you know who this is?
Linklater?
No, not Linklater.
Oh,
I did watch a lot of Linklater this year.
He did.
This has to be Grand Budapest Hotel.
Nope, not Wes Anderson.
You also
Not Wes
watched a lot of
Anderson.
his, though.
You did.
Spielberg. You watched a lot of Spielberg.
Take another guess. Me and you watched one of the movies together.
Michael Mann.
Yeah, Michael Mann. I discovered Michael Mann
We
this
watched
year.
2 Mans this year, didn't we?
Did we?
Oh, no, that's Mangold for 4v Ferrari. Never
Right.
mind.
Yeah. Michael Mann. Yeah. Discovered Michael Mann this year with
Discovered.
first like for real. Like
I found this indie director,
guys, I found this director. No, like it's a shame that I hadn't seen a Michael Mann movie before this year, but now I've seen most of his top hitters. So Michael Mann, first movie I saw was Collateral. You know, my Tom Cruise love slipped me into Michael Mann, which I'm so grateful for. Love Collateral, and then I picked up the Heat 4K. Loved Heat. Heat's one of my top films ever. Watched it with Micah. I don't know if he was as hot on it as I
prefer
was.
Thief over Heat.
Yeah, I did. I watched Thief this year too. So, Last of the Mohicans. I just watched Ferrari this morning. So I was
saw that log.
I was ingesting Michael Mann, and I love him now. His films.
Guys, he's a really great director. I love him. So if you had to settle on one,
Heat. It would be Heat. Yeah, but that's the lame pick. I'd go. Insider was good. Liked Insider a lot.
but
Thief
Heat's the one that takes the
Heat.
cake.
Yep.
I
Okay.
like Thief because I work in fire alarm, and they disable the fire alarm, and they do a sucky job at it. So that would not happen in the real world. They would actually send a trouble that would trigger something.
So
and-
you like that movie more because of a continuity error?
No, there's other stuff, but I just think it's funny because I could recommend it to my coworkers and be like, "Hey, there's fire alarm stuff in this." Anyway,
Okay.
Ben.
Okay. This is one that actually snuck in late for my top one. I saw a bunch of great movies this year. Crimson Tide, Ford v Ferrari, Full Metal Jacket, Living, Arrival, to name a very few.
Oh.
Arrival was a first this year. I think
Yeah.
we watched that early on in the year. We
did.
borrowed Micah's 4K.
I don't even remember what we watched this year.
We watched a lot, but Arrival was great. But I think the one that takes the cake is one that I watched like 2 weeks ago when I was sick, and that is Timmy T.
Dodgeball.
Timmy T. Oh, Dodgeball was good, but Timmy T takes the
Zoolander.
cake in The King. If you have never watched The King,
Dude,
on
that was a
Netflix-
recommendation from me, right?
Yes, it was.
Oh, that was a
Micah,
good movie.
I
I
read
knew
your
you would like
Letterboxd
it.
review on, and I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for a good movie. I'm in the mood to watch Dune. I didn't have Dune 2 at the time, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch The King. I've been wanting to watch it. Soundtrack's good. It was fantastic, man. Timothy Chalamet. Your review said this. I'm gonna pull from your review.
I don't
here.
even remember what I said.
But Denis Villeneuve definitely saw Timmy
Oh,
T
yeah.
in this one, and then he was like, "Okay, that's my Paul Atreides because he is fantastic." I don't know if this is like his first like huge major role. I didn't go into it that much, but he's fantastic in this movie. His supporting cast is great. There is his advisor who. I won't get into spoilers, but his advisor is so good, and then the plot is just
Robert
it's
Pattinson?
right up there. Yeah,
Crazy
yeah.
French accent.
Oh my goodness, it was
So-
just so good.
The King or King Arthur? I know you like both those movies.
The King. It would have to be the King.
Really?
It would have to
Okay.
be the King.
Okay.
It is up there because King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, I do really like. I just don't know if it has that level of quality that a Braveheart or a Gladiator has. I would put the King up there with them modern day version of something like that. It was right up my alley. I'm so glad I watched it. I've had the soundtrack on repeat. Nicholas Britell, who I know and love from Andor, he did the score for it. Love the King. That's my pick for 2024.
The ending of The Last Samurai kind of reminded me of The King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see where
Yeah.
you're going. I don't want to get into spoilers.
When
but
I was watching, because I
see where you're
watched The
coming
King
from.
and then I watched The Last Samurai, and I was like, Huh.
Yes.
Visually similar.
Yes.
Anyway.
Agreed. Micah.
All right, so I'm gonna. I watched a lot of documentaries this year. I'm not gonna go into super huge detail with these. Documentaries,
Hoop dreams.
boring. All right, so I watched OJ Made in America. That's about OJ Simpson and the not just about his trial, but about the culture surrounding it, and really paints the picture as to why he made it free. So that was cool.
Mega long. How long it took you to watch that?
It's like 5 episodes, each an hour long.
Yeah.
So like
okay.
a couple nights. Yeah. Or maybe it's 8 episodes. It's on Netflix, I think. Then I watched Dear Zachary, A Letter to a Son about his father. Going Blind, one of the best documentaries you'll ever see. So good. And then I watched the super mega long documentary. You think OJ is long? I watched Shoah this year, which is probably the last point in history where they were able to interview Holocaust survivors in the 80s. And very powerful. They interviewed ex-Nazis, like military personnel that were still proud of what they did. It's disgusting. It's a little hopeful towards the future. It shows you a much more preserved location of like the concentration camps, and while they're describing it, they're walking through where, like, what they're describing. It's powerful. It is one of the greatest documentaries I've seen and can never be made again. And that's something that makes a documentary truly special. But the ones I really want to talk about, I watched...
Those aren't anything.
2 movies real quick. American History X floored me. Edward Norton just blew me away. Come and See is going to be my pick for best watch, though. Come and See is a Soviet-Russian movie. So when I logged it, it didn't even log Russia. It logged USSR. So like my map, Russia is still blank. Whatever.
That's why he watched it, guys.
He's so sad.
That's not why I watched it. It's in the IMDb top 250.
It's
That's why I
number
watched it.
1, isn't it?
No, Harakiri is number 1 for Letterboxd top 250. Come and See is about a Russian boy who is so enthusiastic about joining the military. If you've seen All Quiet on the Western Front, kind of like that, like the Netflix one. And it shows the horrors of war and how these kids just go into it because they think they're being so cool. And then the horrors of what happened and how at the end, life just continues to go on. They persevere. They continue to, like, the war didn't end with the story. And it's just heartbreaking. It's the kind of movie you take a cold shower after. And Nick Widener, our friend, just watched it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, I don't know if he just watched it, but he just logged it.
It's true.
He probably watched
is
it in October.
Notoriously behind.
No. So yeah, his review just went up a few weeks ago, but November 16th.
No.
So
Yeah.
he spends time on those. Shout out to
Yeah,
Nick.
Yes, he does.
great movie.
Yes, he
If you
does.
guys want to watch it, it is for free on YouTube. Some museum posted it. It was like a film preservation
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube. It's really good.
Okay.
And it's not like a pirated version either. It's high quality.
So if you had to pick out of those, you'd
Yeah, Come and
probably
See.
Come and See would
Come
be
and
the
See
one.
is the
Okay.
one that impacted me the most.
I think you did say that. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. I like that. Next, we move on to best soundtrack / score for a film in 2024. Who started it? Who starts this one?
This is me. This
Yeah.
is mine.
Okay.
Is it mine? How many have we done? How many categories?
This is 4 now.
did
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
guys.
So,
So
it is
then
you.
it's back to you.
Oh,
Back to you, Ben.
What did I say?
really?
I could steal.
It's me. Okay. Okay. This is without a doubt. I mean, it was my number 1 in my Wrapped playlist. It's everybody knows. Come on, it's Zimmer.
Sonic 3.
It's Zimmer's Dune Part 2. You can't. I mean, okay. Criminally didn't get nominated because it's ineligible. Rise of Skywalker. Just want to throw that out there real quick. I got to tell you right now. A Time of Quiet Between Storms. Number 1 song from last year. His work on
When the
Dune
single
2,
came out, I listened to that thing on repeat.
it was like 2 weeks before the film
Mesmerized.
released. I remember sitting at work and I like, oh, Hans Zimmer just dropped a new song from Dune 2. Listened to it and I was like, this is without a doubt going to be the greatest movie ever. Watched it. It was a great movie. Spoilers there for maybe coming soon in this review. But he's fantastic. Kiss the Ring, so good.
You're hype on that song.
I love everything about the Dune 2 score. It's so good. The Harkonnen Arena is just in your face, and everything of what Hans Zimmer loves about rock and roll. I feel like he threw so much into that. Dune 2 is without a doubt.
And you would be regretting it if you don't mention that we did hear it live this year.
We did.
Yes, we did. And that was probably one of the coolest experiences I'll ever have in my life. He's the best, in my opinion, when it comes to movie scores. I like him over Williams, and we had the fortunate opportunity to go see him live in Chicago for that. We didn't have it canceled like some cities did. Although he did go back to those cities and he did redo his shows. But yeah, we did get to hear it live then too in September. So that was truly something special. But yeah, Dune Part 2, it has to be here. It's the best in my opinion for 2024.
Speaking of Williams, the John Williams documentary is really good as well.
Yes, it is.
So it's my turn.
I believe it is, Micah. Yes.
Is this going to be the first steal of the day?
I don't know why. What would
man. Man, Ethan, I hope you have a third pick.
I hope I do too.
Because Furiosa.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay, cool.
No.
Furiosa had one of the most interesting soundtracks I've heard. I mean, Dune 2 was my first pick, obviously. I mean, come on, guys. But Furiosa, I didn't expect to be super impressed by it going in, because no one really talked about it. It's not in any of the awards conversation. But then again, Dune 2 isn't either, which makes no sense. So Furiosa, I love how there's engines in and chains and all this in the score. It's not a very typical score. It's a very different and very experimental, and I love it for that. I think Fury Road did a similar thing too.
I think that's why you're not hearing a lot of conversation, because it is very derivative of the Fury Road sound.
Yeah.
I mean, same guy, and it's also in the same
Who is it?
universe.
Do you
Junkie XL, or Tom Hulkenberg is his actual name.
Okay.
But
what else does he do? Do you know?
He's
it?
actually he's done quite a lot.
Okay, I'll have to
he
look
worked
him
on
up.
Batman v Superman. He worked on Zack Snyder's Justice League, Rebel Moon,
Well, I'm
which
glad I
actually does have a good soundtrack.
Sonic 3?
He did.
He did not.
It says he did Sonic.
No way. Yeah, he's
yeah.
actually done quite a bit since like 2016 on. A lot of the music for the MonsterVerse Godzilla movies he's done as well. But his scores that's probably why you're not hearing it, because it is very derivative of the Fury Road soundtrack.
And Furiosa's soundtrack really blends into the environment of what's going on. Like if you weren't paying attention to the engine riffs and stuff, you probably wouldn't recognize, because it's immersive. Because they're driving around really fast, but the engines are rhythmic and they're breathing and they're alive, and it brings this energy to the chases and to the sniping and to everything. It's so good. So Furiosa, if we had a most surprising category, so we had a most disappointing, most surprised, Furiosa blew me away. Same thing with Fury Road when I watched it last year. Man, great.
That's right. You did watch that for the
I
first
watched
time
it.
last
I watched
year.
it Christmas last year, and then I watched Furiosa. Oh, both with my dad. Christmas last year and Christmas this year with my
They are
dad.
certified dad movies.
Certified.
Nice.
Dad. I
Yes,
needed to watch those with my dad.
Yes. Okay. It's a score that blends very well into the universe.
Do you guys remember we watched Mad Max, all three this year? We did a marathon.
We did all four.
All four?
all
Oh, four.
four.
Yeah,
We
watched
did do
Marathon
Fury
too.
Road. Yeah.
That's right.
That was quite the day. That's for sure. I love that.
What a beautiful day.
Ethan.
All right. So the category title is Best Score or Soundtrack.
That's
so,
true.
guys, for all my Wicked heads out there, I'm going to take the Wicked soundtrack.
Are you serious?
I am
No
serious.
way.
No way.
I'm going to do it. Okay, you know me. I'm not a music guy.
It blew you away?
It blew me away, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
I want to give Wicked some love, and this is where I've decided to give Wicked
Give me your
some
finger. He's holding space for the Wicked soundtrack.
love. Guys, it was fun. I saw this the day after Christmas with my my brother.
Ethan's a
and
musical theater nerd.
I do.
What's going on
It's
here?
fun.
We're just finding this out. It's 2025.
That was a 3-hour movie and didn't really even
Didn't feel like 3 hours.
Flew
no.
by. Yeah. And I was
On
like,
the Witch's Broom.
I'm like, I don't really like Ariana Grande too much, but then I thought she fit really well into the role and thought all the songs were good. I mean, they did it live, right? Which that's that's really impressive, I think. They didn't ADR it, so I thought it was cool. I like Wicked.
Yeah.
Out of the Witch projects that came out in 2024, which
with
one's better?
music.
Agatha, Wicked.
Ethan, best song from Wicked?
Best song?
Yeah,
Good question.
Best song.
Because I don't know a single song for Wicked.
Just describe it.
Yeah,
best song and worst song.
Is it Elevator? What's the name of the
Elphaba?
No, the end song, when she's riding the broom.
Yeah, what's that song called?
I don't know, Micah. I'm picking it here, okay?
Starting to sound like a
Give me your best.
fan.
Bet I am a fake fan.
Okay.
Best score.
No,
Name the title song.
okay. You want to talk about surprises? I mean, that's one of the most profitable movies
Wicked
this year.
blew everything away.
It really. I mean, 3 hours. I mean, they're doing part 2 next year, isn't that
For
right?
Good. It's gonna be called Wicked for Good.
That's right.
And
Okay.
if you liked Wicked, check out In the Heights. Have you seen In the Heights?
No.
Same director. He did an amazing job. In the Heights is my favorite musical. So
Okay.
he did a great job making that one. I'll let you borrow my 4K.
There you have it, folks. That's the best soundtrack and scores of.
But yeah, I
2024.
love that you shout out Agatha because Agatha had some heat songs in there too.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it either. Well,
was
I watched
hyped
the
for
first
Agatha, and
episode.
I didn't watch it.
But next category is a new category that we're adding to this. And if you guys have any categories that you think of that would be nice and great, there's a lot of great stuff coming out in 2025. Please leave those in the comments down below. But this one is a new category that I believe Micah suggested for best theater experience.
Oh, I did this last
We
year.
did this last year.
Did we really?
Yes.
Yeah, I said Oppenheimer in 70mm IMAX.
Yeah. He knows. He has it locked in.
Dude,
Oh, it's unforgettable.
So
Man.
I went off of my last score. I must have done that off the cuff that day then because I went off of my last categories of last year. Okay, never mind. We're not doing a new category. This is going to be for this year. And I believe, Micah, you start us off.
Me?
Yes, Micah.
I had some pretty incredible experiences in the theater this year. I got to see Tenet 70mm.
That was
Not
great.
IMAX, just
That was
70mm.
Hey,
That was
don't
pretty
steal
sick.
any of mine either.
Oh, okay, I won't. And I saw the first 30 minutes of Interstellar in 70mm IMAX before my show was
Seriously.
destroyed. I'm going tomorrow though. I'm going back to Indianapolis tomorrow to watch it. So, but my top of the year, I just remembered it.
Just now.
I just now remember it.
Holy cow.
that you saw the movie in theaters?
Yeah, and that it blew me away was when I was on my honeymoon actually at the
Really?
Victoria Royal Museum, British Columbia Museum in Canada at their dual laser IMAX. I saw Blue Whale's Return of the Giants. It's like a 45-minute documentary narrated by what's his name?
Was the film what
No. This is
impressed
about
you or the company?
It was narrated by Andy Serkis. No, the company was terrible, dude. It was all
You were with
these
your wife.
kids.
We'll add that.
There were a million kids in this theater, but I watched this thing in IMAX 3D. Blew me away, dude.
Why don't you say it one more time, Micah?
So you're
Blue Whale blew me away, dude.
You're telling me that when you went
I'm talking
and saw,
about theater experience.
you're telling me that you had a better theater experience. I'm just throwing this out there with the Blue Whale movie
The Blue Whale movie.
than you did with like Dune Part 2.
I'm talking about theater experience.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I didn't say it was the best
But-
movie,
No, right, but like
but theatrical
okay,
experience.
all right.
So the people
IMAX
in
is-
the theater sucked. you
Yeah,
said.
but I was so immersed, and I was like that the whole. My jaw was on the floor, and they're just talking about whales and how they document them, like. And Andy Serkis is like, these whales are, in his little accent, crazy.
Okay.
Like, It was a dual laser. It was
Directly-
So this was the first time I had seen a movie in dual laser IMAX, and I don't know if you guys know what this is, but like, if you guys know,
Don't
you
worry,
know.
all our listeners do.
Yeah,
so.
all our listeners know. Dual laser IMAX is the way to go. The closest dual laser IMAX to us, St. Louis doesn't even count. And that might be the closest one.
Great.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to travel for it, is what you're saying.
What
It's
I'm
not
saying
available
is
to
that
everyone.
Chicagoland has awful IMAX choices.
Mm.
Only single laser? Come on, guys.
Come on, we gotta up the game. For
Yeah,
that. Okay. The
Yeah.
Blue Whale movie for Micah.
Return of the Giants.
Return of the Giants.
Remember the Titans?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, right.
Facing the Giants?
Ethan, I believe you were up.
Yeah, it's back to you, Ben.
Is it? Are we?
Sure.
I don't even remember
Okay.
now.
I believe it is you.
I could
then
have
it's
said,
me.
I believe
I'll
we are
take it.
going this
All
way.
right, so I just want to say that for Micah's bachelor party, we rented out a theater and we saw Back to the Future. I was
Oh, man.
surprised that didn't even get a nod right here.
Dang.
Money's wasted, I guess,
Yeah.
on that experience because
Stupid.
the Blue Whale
stupid guys.
kicked it out of the.
To be fair,
Dude, the Blue Whales.
honeymoon bachelor party. Yeah, if you had to pick one,
I guess
Can't
I gotta
compare.
pick the Blue Whales.
can't compare.
Tenet shocked me. I didn't enjoy Tenet the first time I saw it, and then seen it again in Chicago, killer good. But my pick here, since it's still on the table, I'll go Deadpool and Wolverine. Just call it lame. Call it lame.
No. I agree. It's a good pick.
It was nuts.
The theater was packed. We were with the boys.
I was
And not
doing backflips and cartwheels.
we were doing
man.
backflips, cartwheels as each person showed up. It was fun to be in a movie where everyone was excited to be there, and then also
The largest screen in Illinois.
Yep.
largest
We
screen
went
in
and saw
Illinois.
that.
And then when we were leaving, everyone was happy. Right? It was just a movie that it was a popcorn flick, but everyone got the popcorn they
was the
wanted.
last blockbuster
and we
that
were
did that?
just excited. And not to despite me and Ben's best efforts, we ended up seeing it twice that night. Which
did.
we might forget about.
Yes.
An
An unforgettable night.
Josh Nielsen, who
Yes, sir.
I
right
went
after
home to the old ball and chain.
we left the theater, we went to Portillo's, and then Josh was like, "What if we go see it again?" And I don't know if me and Ben were in a
Pondered the
position
question.
to fight that,
No.
so we saw it twice.
It was epic. That night was epic.
It was cool. Yeah,
So good.
That's my pick since it's still here.
It's a good
Great.
pick.
When we talk about hype and theater experiences, that is one of those movies that just did it.
It
And
also-
and I love
I-
sharing it with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. I'm not speaking to the quality of the film, but for us who did the Marvel movie marathon, it was cool to see
Oh my gosh.
characters on that marathon.
Bumps and
reappear.
views and watch time. Yeah.
I will say this: it's nice to have this reassurance that Marvel can still deliver a movie that is very crowd pleasing in this day and age. Because I mean, we talked about it to death on the podcast, but they've been kind of lacking lately, and it
That's
was
crazy.
really
That's our
nice.
criteria now.
I know, but
Can
we
you
had a
make me-
Can they
great
deliver
time.
a good story? Now, can they please the
Can
crowd?
they make us happy? Make us smile.
Yes, and
please.
that's the point. They did with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Can they
Good
open
pick,
a
great
Pepsi
pick.
on camera?
So this is I went Dune Part 2 would not be the one I would pick, but I had a great time seeing that. I went and saw that 3 times in theaters. I went and saw it at a preview showing a week early. That was amazing and electric. I think there were people who were there for like
I changed my
like
answer.
reviews.
We saw Red One a week early. Me and Micah
We did.
True.
Yeah, Blue Whales. Now Red one.
I got to see my favorite movie ever in theaters this year as well, Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, which was awesome. But I think the one that has to take the cake, and I didn't see it in 70 millimeter, but I
IMAX.
did get to see it in IMAX, was Interstellar. And I think it's...
Wait, you saw it in IMAX,
it's,
right?
Yes.
Oh, crazy.
I
Forgot about
It's
that.
hard to beat the theater experience of watching, like Lord of the Rings is the better film in my opinion, but the theater experience of watching an Interstellar in theaters. And so we went and saw the IMAX. The theater is packed for a movie that came out 10 years ago. Almost every
showing in
seat.
Chicago
Yeah.
was sold out.
Which, speaks to the quality of the film. But you're sitting there, and we did an Interstellar watch a couple...
This year, it was February.
Yeah.
It was back in theaters in February, and I
That
went.
was this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to
With Parker.
Gurney Mills Mall. That's like an hour and a half from here, just to see it. And then we watched it, an hour and a half towards Indiana
Yep.
to watch it again. That experience was amazing too, and that wasn't even IMAX.
But this, with the sound and also the feel of it, it was something else, and I was very glad to watch that. And yeah, it was
I will say
so good.
The love seats that we were sitting on.
That did amplify it.
Was that
that's
Marcus
true.
Theaters?
I
don't remember. It was something.
Seven Bridges. It's Seven Bridges IMAX.
No, not that one. We didn't go. Oh, you
we
went to
did.
Seven Bridges?
No, that's where we went.
No,
we did.
Didn't go there.
I don't remember.
No, we didn't go to Seven.
maybe
I
I'm
remember
wrong.
I got a pizza. I had a pizza though.
Seven
That's
Bridges
true.
was on
Yeah.
IMAX.
I could be
Anyway,
definitely off. But yeah, Interstellar.
You got
Interstellar
pizza.
is my pick.
Oh, and I love Parker's reaction to Interstellar. I didn't know movies could be that good, but it was a little loud.
He said, "I would have rather watched it at home
Come on.
with subtitles."
Yeah.
He does make a good point.
So those categories end off the night with kind of the fat, and here's where we get to the meat, because we are now talking about the worst project of 2024. It's a draft. You can't take each other's picks. There was a lot. I will say this: there was a lot of mid to come out in 2024. If you had to pick, though, and Ethan, you start us off
this
with
me now?
your bad pick, the worst movie or TV show of 2024.
Let's look. See, I have some picks, but I'm trying to double check if there's a sleeper pick in here that I should highlight. No, I can't say Sonic 3. That would anger Micah.
I'd have to leave.
And
It would anger a lot of
and
people.
all the Sonic heads out
Is
there.
that the worst project?
I'm gonna go a project that I'll say the worst because one, why did I pick it on my most anticipated list? I have no idea why. I do know why. It's because Daredevil was involved. But I'm gonna go with something because you guys didn't even watch this. I'll go Echo. Disney Plus's
I forgot that came out.
miniseries Echo.
Disney Plus's first mature rating?
Yeah, first MA, return of Vincent D'Onofrio and return of Daredevil. Laqua Cox was good. I liked her, but the rest of the show wasn't. So I don't know. I didn't have too many things that really killed me this year, right? Like that I thought just sucked. And there were things that weren't good, but I wasn't hyped for them. This one, I don't know why I got myself excited. Well, no, I do know why. Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, I can answer
Charlie
that for you.
Cox.
Well, it was hyped up too. I was excited about it until I
It
heard
did
the
some
reviews.
things that were cool, but it's so forgettable, and it's like why? So I'm going with that. My worst project of the year. I'll pick that. Even though yes, there are some spum Sony Marvel Universe movies that could go here. I'm gonna throw this here.
Yeah. Speaking of spum, I'll throw it in there because.
Say spun.
So I'm telling you right now, man. Sony really, if Craven is their last movie,
Did we watch Craven?
I don't think any of us have yet.
No, we didn't, guys. We
I'm
failed
not
the
gonna
Sony
lie.
universe.
So here's the thing, though. With Madam Web out and Venom: The Last Dance out this year, a third spum universe movie, could we even handle that at this point?
Well,
I don't know.
It's 2025 now, so I think we could.
True.
We could.
But I am going to go with Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh,
Madam Web, I actually had a good time with.
if
Even
only
though
we had
it was
saw it
garbage.
together, guys.
It is a regret of mine. But Venom: The Last Dance is so incredibly mid and continues. I'm sorry. I know there are people out there who are fans of Venom. We might even have one right here.
I was.
But all three of those movies, it might be the most mid trilogy ever created. There is not an ounce of me that is engaged during any part of this trilogy, and especially the third movie. There are dialogue. I mean, Sony is very famous for its dialogue in their movies, and it's
Infamous.
Yes, infamous is a better word. It's so terrible. I hated. The only thing that made it good was that I watched it with you two. And that was the only. I was sitting there laughing because of the jokes that you guys were saying, and we were kind of riffing during the movie. There are some truly bad sequences in
I
this
will
movie.
never forget you, buddy.
Dude, If It Rains, Head Indoors, I think was one of them. They said it multiple times. Like, what? I hated hated Venom: The Last
that
Dance.
was wild because the year ended and I was like, oh, what a shame! I never saw Venom 3, and then I'm like, I saw Venom 3 with you two. Just totally gone. I remember it now that I'm sitting here.
I remember there was a whole Area
about
51 thing.
Yes, and
A lot of symbiotes, I think.
Reese Ifans was in it, right?
The Lizard just showed up in a Sony Spider-Man movie, not as the Lizard. So I don't know.
But I remember because they
Vegas
had
stuff.
that epic Vegas stuff and the dance
Yeah.
sequence, hence the name Last Dance.
It was The Last Dance.
It was.
I'll never forget you, buddy.
Venom: The Last Dance is my
I'll never
pick.
forget you.
Did not like that movie at all. Micah.
Well, if I had to pick one dumpster fire of a budget that was thrown down the drain, emphasis on the budget, emphasis on the drain. We're gonna go with.
You're going Red One.
I'm going Red.
You're going Red
I'm
One.
going Red One.
Ooh.
No way.
This $250 million disaster that cost $250 million. If you didn't catch that.
$1
million. And I'm mainly saying this because I want to clarify based on a short that we made. It sounds like a lot of you guys took it seriously and watched it based on our recommendation.
But say that again. They watched
our short
we recommend
that we said watch Red One. It's peak.
you can't help but think, Micah, that we failed our people.
We
failed the little fans we have.
They
we
believed
failed
in
them.
us.
They did.
But the worst part is, people that I work with say they watched it and enjoyed it. I went to Christmas, and my family members they had all seen it. Everyone had seen it when it went on Prime. Like, I know
It's number
everyone
one streamed thing on Prime.
everyone I know has seen Red One. And I'm like, what? No, dude.
That's not true.
Before this movie came out, I was the only one who knew about this. We went to this pre-show screening. We went to the pre-show screening, guys.
The
Sunday
right?
before Thanksgiving. The place was packed. What?
Wow.
It was like a 2 p.m. showing on a Sunday a week before the movie came out, and it was like sold out. What?
Micah
What?
is flabbergasted.
I just can't believe that this garbage movie made so much money.
Here, this is
My-
one of the top reviews for it. It says Chris Evans did Knives Out and then decided that he's never going to be in a good movie again.
Oh man, he has the craziest 8-movie run in existence,
Dang.
dude. Paycheck after paycheck, dude. And what I don't like about Red One is that I want to say it doesn't know its audience, but it also does.
It does.
It does know its audience. It knows that the kids don't care. It knows that the parents are the only ones that are going to care about this movie. And at that, they're not going to care either. It's just going to be a movie they put on because The Rock is in it and Chris Evans is in it.
A movie made for iPad kids as they watch on 2 times speed and get a victory royale.
Exactly. Like, you can't even put this movie on for the kids and walk out of the room because there's so much swearing in it. And there's boobs and butts on the beach scene. And there's like all this violence going on. And it's like,
Who is this movie for?
yeah, I'm not trying to be that like, oh, I'm a conservative, whatever. You can't watch movies that have violence and swear words and butts and whatever. But like, it's not a safe Christmas movie to just like throw on for the family. When I want to watch a Christmas movie, I don't think, oh, let's watch an edgy, Christmas. J.K. Simmons is the Santa, which I mean that's the second time he's played Santa, and his first time was better that I know of. I think it's only the second. He was Klaus.
What was weird was how straight The Rock played his performance in
Yeah,
this.
I think this is one of The Rock's best performances.
What?
If I had to give this movie a compliment, but it's not saying
Hey,
much.
you don't have to.
It's not
You don't
saying
have to
much.
give this movie a compliment.
Oh, actually, no. I have a real compliment. Krampus, all practical effects.
Good.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Fun thing to note too is the theater that we like to frequent at is our Cinema 7 in Sandwich. Meet us there if you ever want to. But They put Red One stuff all over this movie theater.
Oh yeah,
everywhere. And did we take a photo with the Red One display?
Put some pictures in if you find them.
If I remember.
Yeah, if you remember it.
If I want to. It's not worth it. I won't.
But I do hear that this is the second worst Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie with red in the title. So
No way.
that's what I hear.
So
we're
are you
always
telling
watching
me
Red Notice.
that, because I didn't see it, I only saw your short. You said this movie saves Christmas.
Inspired millions to watch.
Are you telling me it
Red One.
doesn't save Christmas?
I mean, at the end, I guess they do.
I guess they
Santa
do.
is, spoiler alert, but you've all seen it by now, apparently. They save Christmas.
I'm just excited
Wow.
for Red 2.
There are some cool concepts on it, all right? Isn't there Red 2? Isn't Red 2 a movie?
Red 2 is a movie with
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. Yep. Hey, Mikey, you don't have to talk about Red 1 anymore.
Okay,
It's
fine.
okay.
I'm done.
It's okay.
You're exhausted.
done.
It's okay.
It's been a long week, you
Yeah,
know.
don't see Red 1.
Despite what our
But you've seen it.
short said, you know, we lied to people. You know, I did that. I love that you say that because we did have people come up to us and say, "So that movie was
The
good."
guy
huh?"
we saw Deadpool and Wolverine with came up to me and was like, "So I should see Red 1?" Like, you sounded pretty positive on it. No, don't.
Before we move into the best category,
the hitters.
I have to say that if Venom didn't come out, Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2
Ooh.
would be my worst project. That was a slog to get
That's
through.
a Tom Hulkenberg, right? He scores that.
His music is good in that.
And
though, I
you
will
watched which one again? The
say.
director's
the director's cut for both.
the Snyder cut.
Man, Tom Hulkenberg had a busy year. Sonic 3, Furiosa, The Rebel Moons. Man,
So does he team up with
Dang.
the other guy or something
With the other guy,
from Furiosa?
it's the
We were
same
talking
guy.
about?
same guy.
Same guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Junkie XL.
Oh. Yep.
Goes by a different name.
Yeah, he used to be Junkie XL, and now I think he's going Tom Hulkenberg. Anyway,
A little more professional than
so now we've finally gotten here. We've gotten the bad projects out of the way, and now we're here to talk about
Thanks for
the
listening
top.
so far.
Top
Don't worry,
5.
I'm going to
projects.
release this as a separate video as well, too, because
Okay.
this is what people want to hear.
The top 5 projects of 2024. Yes, it's going to be a draft. Yes, we cannot take it once it's been said. Ethan, you
Ooh.
have the draft order.
Guys, the draft order this year, we're doing something different, is based off our picks from last year. So what happened was we all picked things going into this year, and some were good, some were bad. So what I took was the IMDb user score, I took the Rotten Tomatoes critic score, and then the Letterboxd user score, and I averaged those out. And then I have, from our 5 picks last year, I have all those averaged out into one total score.
And based on if we experienced them or not, because I don't think I experienced many of them.
It doesn't matter if you watched them or not.
Oh, okay, great.
Most of these were movies, so I was able to pull a Letterboxd score. Some were shows, so we couldn't do that. So as that comes up, we'll address that. But, guys, I just want to quiz you right now. Going into this year, do you remember what you were hyped for?
Yes.
Don't look at anything. I just,
No, I'm
just
looking at
want
my
to
list
see
from
if
this
we
year
remember.
to see if I watched anything.
Yeah, I remember. I would say I can name 3 off the top of my head.
Okay,
But-
Ben, we're going to start with you, okay? I'm going to read the movies you picked,
Okay.
and I won't unveil your average score for everything. But,
Okay.
Ben, going into this year, you picked Deadpool and Wolverine. You picked Furiosa. You picked Transformers 1, Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim,
Yeah.
and then you closed it off with a doubleheader, Bad Batch and Tales of the Empire, which going forward, I took Tales of the Empire because Bad Batch Season 3 is not on Letterboxd. So Tales of the Empire will weigh into this.
Dune Part 2 was not there.
Dune was taken by
Ah,
yours
that's
truly,
right.
That's right.
Micah.
That's
All
right.
That's the only one that and Mickey 17 I remember.
Yeah.
So
Because I was
Mickey
snubbed on
17
at least 2 of my anticipated.
Right. Mickey 17, I just didn't enter score. Right? So it went in as nothing. It doesn't negatively affect your overall. It doesn't positively affect your overall. So, Micah, your 5 going into this year were Dune 2, Joker 2, Folie à Deux,
Peak.
Nosferatu,
Peak.
Mickey 17,
Peak.
and then do you remember what we let you get away with?
Uh-oh.
Wrapping it up.
Wait.
You said, hey, can I cheat? And Micah, you're going to regret that we let you cheat. Because Micah, in one fell swoop, you picked Kraven the Hunter, Madam Web, and Venom 3.
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
You got the Sony Universe.
I
Picture
hope that
Marvel.
you averaged mine out with 8 movies and then just give me 0.
Oh no.
All right, and then mine.
Wait, did you say Rotten Tomatoes critic or user score?
Critic.
Oh,
He's cooked.
I'm done.
You're so cooked, Micah.
There's no chance.
And then mine were, first, I took The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. 2, I took The Fall Guy. 3, I took Echo. 4, I took Argyle.
Oh, he was into January movies.
I was.
Yeah, he
and
was.
5, which I'm really happy about, I took The Penguin. So the
Okay.
Penguin will level out my score. But
I think I'm safe in the last place.
Those Spum movies really.
Oh no! Did you average all of those?
I averaged all of those out. So
Perfect.
who do you want to start with? Average score. Who wants
Give
me to
give
unveil?
it to me,
Micah.
I
What
want to
is
hear
it?
Micah's.
Micah, we'll start with you. So Dune 2 averages out, combining everything, to an 88.33.
Are you serious?
Really, really high for Dune
Surprised
2.
not
What was Dune 2 score?
For what?
Like average? What
That was the average.
That was the average.
Oh, that was just
Yeah.
Dune 2 score.
Across
so
all the
out of
platforms.
IMDb.
Oh, okay. I
Rotten
thought you
Tomatoes,
meant like my
Letterboxd.
average score was 88.
Oh, no. That was just Dune 2, Micah. And then Joker Folie à Deux, 43.67. Oof. And then Nosferatu was a solid 80. And then I had fun with the Spum movies because, Micah, I'm going to let you pick. Do you want to combine all 3 movies, or do you want me to take the best scoring one, which is Venom, and run that one?
I want
because
the full
let me
average.
say this.
Give me the full weight of the
Let me
Spum
say
universe.
this. Regardless of what I run, your placement in the draft does not change.
Give it to me straight, Doc.
All right. So the highest score for either of these 3 films comes from Venom 3,
Okay.
of course. So Venom 3 got a 6 out of 10 on
Sounds like me
IMDb. You got a 41 on Rotten Tomatoes, and then you got a 2.5 on Letterboxd.
Hey, 2.5. That's 50%.
Yeah, whatever. Not too bad, but the other ones really stunk. Kraven the Hunter, Rotten Tomatoes score 17. Madam Web, Rotten Tomatoes score 11. And it doesn't get much better than that. So we don't need to spoil.
What were the averages of the 3?
Average of the
So,
3 was a 38.11.
What was Venom's average?
Venom's average was a 65.
That's what I got. All right.
So-
what's the full number? What is
Full
it?
number is a 33.11
Dang.
for the average of those 3.
Oh.
Bringing your total for your picks a 62%.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
No,
but I mean, you guys got really good.
You had Dune 2 really bumping you up.
Yep.
Nosferatu did really well.
And then the benefit of Mickey 17, that doesn't drag your score down
Yeah.
at all. It's neutral. So really,
Yep.
our scores were divided by 5. Yours was divided by 4 because you had one less entry.
There we go.
So, a 62. Ben, would you like to go next?
Yeah.
All right. So Deadpool and Wolverine, combining everything, 74%.
That's about what expected.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Furiosa, you got an 80.33%. And then Transformers 1, which I know you didn't love. Critics loved it. Fans loved it. An 80.33 as well for that one. And then Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, across all the boards got a 57.33.
Even though it doesn't help me.
Right. Doesn't
I'm
help
glad.
you. And then you had Bad Batch, Tales of the Empire as well. So we ran Tales of the Empire. That turned out to a 74%. So even that one did really well for you, bringing you to a 73.33%, making you first in our draft right now
oh,
until I read what I have. So
Had to phrase it like that. Dang.
The Walking Dead, The Ones
yeah,
Who
of
Live.
course he's at first place.
People loved it. It brought in 80%, 80.66%.
Ones Who Lived?
Yep.
The one you were
It did
dogging
get
on?
good critics.
It did.
reviews,
People
yeah.
liked it.
Alright.
It just the ending didn't stick it. And then The Fall Guy, was a 73%.
Fall
so
Guy was fun.
Did
I heard
solid
people
for
like
me.
that. I should watch that.
I liked it. Yeah,
Extended
it was
cut,
fun.
worth it? Extended?
I haven't seen the extended cut,
okay.
I
so I don't know.
It's probably not like doesn't add very much.
Okay.
But
And then Echo across the board got a 60.66%. So still above 500 here. And then here's my stinker, my Argyle pick. Don't know why I picked this, guys.
Because it was January.
It was January.
Everyone
it was
was
fresh.
hyped.
And we didn't know we were doing
Who
the draft
is
this way.
Agent Argyle?
Argyle got me a 45%. And then I really killed it with the Penguin. Penguin across everything got a 90.33.
Good.
That was one of the highest rated
nice.
Highest
things, right?
rated thing from this year on our list. So
Deserved.
with that brings my total to a 69.93,
Nice.
making Micah third place, me second place, and Ben
Dang.
first place in our draft.
Better bust out my eighth.
So we got
Place.
Ben. The honor
Come
goes
on.
to you.
Come on.
Jeez.
Even though you might have not loved everything you picked, you succeeded. And what this does is right now it won't really affect because we're doing the top of the year. But when we go into our most anticipated for next year, that's going to play double, right? Like, all right, not only do I think I'm going to like this, not only am I excited for it, we have to think, okay, is the world going to like this too? Making it really interesting. But Ben, the floor is yours.
because now I get the honor to talk about Dune Part 2. Obviously. Obviously, that was my favorite thing this year. Like I said, I kind of talked about it a little bit already. I went and saw a preview screening for this, and it absolutely... Jaw was on the floor, Micah, like you say.
For the Blue Whales.
For pretty much like the second half of this. Once the Harkonnen Arena
gotta rewatch
starts, it pretty much becomes like probably a 10 out of 10. I still have it at 9.5, man, but if I rewatch it, it's probably going to be a 10 out of 10 because it's just that good of a film. From start to finish, I am completely engrossed in the world of this movie. The first movie is excellent, but this takes all of that, all of the buildup of these characters and just elevates it. The Fremen culture, they go more into that. It's fantastic. And even they get more into the outer space politics, probably not as much as the book does, but you start to see how the Emperor plays into this. And he comes to Arrakis at the very end. There is a scene in this movie, though, that every time I watch it, I'm absolutely floored. And that's when... basically, Timmy T becomes the Lisan al-Gaib, and he comes back, and there is a shot with him walking towards the Fremen, and the worms are going across the screen, and the screen is kind of blurry. The way that they did that, the cinematography was just beautiful. And then he comes in, gives one of the most epic speeches ever. He's like, no one here can stand against me. Uses the voice on everyone, and everyone's just like, holy crap, this is the real deal. The way that Timothée Chalamet played that was absolutely legendary. And then he goes in and gives like their duel, him and I'm forgetting the antagonist's name, but their duel at the end was awesome. And then
Austin
it's just
Butler?
Austin Butler. Thank you.
Elvis. He fought Elvis in the movie.
With the
Fade
hair.
Rotha. Fade Rotha. That's who I'm thinking of. But it's just a masterclass in every aspect. Like I said in my Letterboxd review the first time I watched it, in every aspect, I look to be absolutely lost in the film that I'm watching, and this movie did that.
This
Dune
is going
Part
to be
2.
so snubbed at the Oscars.
It is. It absolutely is because
It's won nothing in other things.
I can't believe it because, come
Like,
on.
not even a single award. It's so dumb.
It is nominated for 2 Oscars, I believe, right? Only 2?
It's so stupid.
Visual effects and then sound. We'll have to look it up. I'm not
Not
sure. I
even
don't want
Best
to
Picture.
commit, which is crazy. But
Voting
yeah,
ends, I think, today.
Dune Part 2, without a doubt, my number 1.
I'm glad you got it because I think you can sum up our thoughts pretty well on that. And you watched it the most, so I'm glad I didn't pick any good movies in my anticipated for last year.
Yeah, that's what. So technically, draft order would Ethan.
It'll be
Ethan,
me.
You're
yeah,
next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just talked about how it was one of the highest rated things of the year. I won't waste any time. Penguin. I'm going Penguin. Top thing for me that I watched this year. One, because when I watched the first episode, I was like not impressed. But actually, big thing that played into that was the aspect ratio was stretched on Max. And there's no way to address it. I'm like, what is going on? Because it's widescreen, but it was stretched to full screen. no idea why. So when I watched the first episode, I was like,
That didn't happen to me.
it happened to me. Maybe my
It's
TV
the
Maybe I
Ladybug
just didn't
TV.
notice
Yeah,
that.
it's-
I didn't notice that either.
They're
It's
actually
the Ladybug TV.
They're actually stink bugs.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
the stink bugs.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
have stink bugs that got their way into my TV and then died. So you can see them illuminated at the bottom of the screen.
It's his local full array.
But Penguin really impressed me, and one because it was, I mean, we saw a couple this year, right? Movies on villains without the hero in it, right? Venom, all the Sony movies, Joker, right? No Batman to be seen, but the Penguin really impressed me. One, because Colin Farrell killed it, but then the main thing was they didn't approach this and say, all right, we're gonna make Colin Farrell's Penguin sympathetic. We're gonna unpack the layers to this onion, and then he's actually just a good guy making bad choices, right? You think they're doing that, but no, the Penguin sucks. The Penguin sucks, and it ended perfectly in a way where I said to myself, I want to see Batman beat this guy up. I just want to see him punch him to a pulp, which you want. You want that to happen when you get a villain fleshed out. You want to sit there and say, I need to see Batman beat his brains, beat him up. No, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Best
Yep.
episode?
Best app.
Because I've got one.
Freak. All right. Thank you for doing this. Sophia Falcone.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you were going to say it, I
her
was.
backstory episode.
That's my favorite too.
so good.
It does what they're trying to do in the Joker in
man.
an hour. So good.
Yeah. Let me get her name because I want to give her praise. Kristen
her to follow
Milotti or
I believe it's Melody.
Melody.
But-
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. Holy cow, she was good. The ending of that episode, I believe, is where, spoilers, is where she goes, and I think everyone's seen it. All of our listeners, yeah. Is where she just
Everybody.
basically destroys her whole family, right?
Yeah.
But as she's
Takes
doing it,
over.
she's talking to her niece, I think. It's good stuff, man. Holy catfish. I might have to go with the last episode, though, just because of what happens, and especially the end, just rips your heart out, pretty much. You're
Right.
sitting there
I think I said I came for the Penguin, but I stayed for Sophia and Victor.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. No, just really loved it, and it was on my anticipated list going into this year, so I'm really happy to select it here as my number one of the year.
It's a great pick. It's a great pick. Mr. Het?
Well, took Dune 2, so I really don't want to take Furiosa
Do it
from
Whoa.
Ethan.
That's what this is.
I know, but I won't be able to talk about it as well as you
You
would.
can still chime in.
Sheesh. All right, well, Furiosa blew me away. I already talked about it earlier.
That's our quote of the day.
Uh,
It blew
the Reds,
me
man, the Reds
away.
floored me.
Floored me and blew me.
So I feel like this year didn't have as many good movies, but the movies that were good were better than last year's. So, I mean, that's, you were talking about it earlier. Furiosa is a movie that should have been in every awards conversation. It should have been,
not even
the styling,
awards aside,
it is the most, let me take that back. I didn't see Megalopolis. It's the most interesting movie to look at of this year by a short margin with Dune 2.
Yeah, good point.
And then it's a large margin.
Yep.
Yeah. So Dune 2 visually is insane. Furiosa is so visually precise, and it's got that George Miller style
Yep.
that is just so, you can look at it and it's like the little dude looking out of the
Yeah.
tanker. That's the, you know what type of look I'm talking about. That lens, that weird uncanniness that reminds you you're in a movie, but in a good way. There's something about it that is just, and the trucking scene is just
Yeah.
amazingly choreographed. I wouldn't put it over Fury Road for me, but I'd say the story is over Fury Road. The movie as a whole is such a great package.
right.
I love,
the simplicity of Fury Road is really
yeah.
You can't beat
And
that.
Chris Hemsworth is this his first big role since Thor? What else has he been in besides Transformers 1?
That I can think of.
Yeah, nothing else. So Chris Hemsworth doing his native accent for the first time. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved this movie. Definitely got to rewatch it. I got to buy my own copy. Ethan's got his copy that I borrowed. Just loved it. Ethan, you got anything to chime in on Furiosa?
No, I mean, I think for future years we need to somehow incorporate a box office category into our draft because it's a shame, but this movie flopped. This movie did not make money. And
What if we had a box office category where it was the movie that flopped that you would give $100 billion to?
okay.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. If it was 2023.
Yeah, but this year
It didn't make $2 billion.
This year it would go to Furiosa because, guys, it was never. It's always hard when you.
It came out so early in the year.
Well, it came out when it came
Around
out,
Dune 2.
but then it's never gonna hit Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max Fury Road is a once in a lifetime type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into Furiosa, you should know that. You should know.
And I'm glad it tries to be something other than Fury Road 2. It's about a different character. It focuses on different tones and different aspects of that culture. It builds more of the world that Fury Road just barely tipped its little toes into.
It's a prequel that doesn't make you hate the original. You know, like that. It fleshes out who Furiosa is and leads right into Mad Max. Like it's impossible not to go. Now I need to watch Fury Road again.
My
Right?
dad's only
leads right
complaint
in.
though is that they recasted Furiosa, which
Well,
I get.
I think Anya Taylor-Joy did
But
a
I
really
think
good job.
Anya Taylor-Joy, I didn't think she had it in her before watching this, and she fits the character.
She does, yeah.
Before this, I had only seen her in Mario movie doesn't count. The Northman, I'd seen
Did
her
you
in that.
see Queen's Gambit?
No,
No.
She was great in
She was
that.
great in that?
Yeah.
New Mutants?
Not
sorry,
good
we
in
didn't get that far in the podcast.
Not
But yeah.
good in that.
Great
No.
movie.
It's a good pick.
I like you said, a really good movie to look at. You know, sound wise, it's great.
People are
And-
going to look back. Wasn't Fury Road interpreted like that too? Like,
No, Fury
was
Road
it
was
huge?
pretty well
People
received.
love Fury
Okay,
Road.
okay.
Yeah.
It
Well, I mean,
was.
people
it made a
love
lot
this
of money
too.
too.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
made a lot of money.
it fails in comparison to the bigger brother Fury Road, and
I
that's
guess
going to be the main criticism, right?
George Miller might just have to make Happy Feet 3.
It was all right. It was no Fury Road, and you hate that. You hate that. So I think Furiosa is worth watching. I think Anya Taylor-Joy has like how many? I think like less than 50 lines of dialogue in the whole movie.
Which is great. Loved it.
Really cool that they do that and make it work. And yeah, just action, really solid action. Cool story, fun
Visuals
characters.
insane.
The world, right? The lore of Mad Max. So incredibly cool. And also it helped that this year we did do a Mad Max movie binge.
And it wasn't your number one. So anyway,
Yeah, it was yours. Take it.
picked it.
That's true.
Ben, what do you got? Number 2.
Back to Ben.
Number 2. This is one that I'm glad you guys didn't watch because I don't have to fight for it.
Shogun.
I've always been a big fan. Obviously, I got that one up there. Last Samurai's in my top 4.
I got to watch Shogun.
And when Hiroyuki Sanada was cast and billed as one of the main characters for Shogun, I was incredibly excited for this, and it did not let me down. If it wasn't, well, I would say Dune Part 2, right below Dune Part 2 was Penguin, but then right below that was Shogun. This was a fantastic piece of television on Hulu, and I think Disney Plus now you can watch it. Everyone is great. Cosmo Jarvis as John Blackthorne is he brings a lot of the humor to this, and it's every time he's on scene, he has great chemistry with the best performer. I think she did win awards for her performance at the TV show awards.
Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes. I
that
think
what they are?
Anna Sawai
Or the
won
Emmys.
Emmys.
an Emmy for her performance. And yeah, and I think Hiroyuki Sanada did too. But Anna Sawai as Mariko, she was so fantastic. Usually that's not where I like to go in this, but her performance was so engaging and so magnetic. And as you follow her journey through, especially once you get to the end, you feel so. I've never been so attached to a character like I was with her, other than I would think Colin Farrell's Penguin. Her name was right under there if I didn't get Colin Farrell today with
Yeah.
you guys because she was so good. But The plot of it's epic samurai storytelling. Good soundtrack, great visuals. I love it. I don't know if there is a 4K of this, but watching it on Hulu,
I doubt there'll ever be a 4K.
lots of crappy quality on Hulu. I can tell this would look so good if it was released on physical media. Highly recommend Shogun. That's my number two.
We hung out earlier in the week, and I'm like, I know this is gonna be on your list, so I at least want to watch the first episode. But then first episode, hour and 11 minutes. It's like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Lost. Ethan, what do you
just
got?
kind of got to shake your head. Yeah, that's my number two. Ethan.
Let me get my list pulled back up here. I segued out a little. All right, let's go. All right, number two. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna number two. I'll go Juror number two.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, you like that.
Neither of you guys watched it, but I always. Well, Clint Eastwood did this. Nicholas Hoult stars in it. It's just a courtroom drama. It's a courtroom drama on is a Max original. But shout out to this movie one because really I love the way that the story unfolds and the kind of story it is. It's like 12 Angry Men with a little twist. Turns out that main character is involved in more things than he initially thought going into it. So
Spoilers.
I mean that's all I'll say. Really cool in that way, and it's PG-13. I don't think PG-13 movies get enough love. I know Dune 2 was PG-13, but this movie really put on my radar. Okay, like I've seen Nicholas Hoult in a lot of things, but this one really hit me in the face. Like this guy's talented.
He jumped out this year.
This guy, yeah, he
he got Nosferatu, Juror number 2, Garfield movie,
The Order he
among
was
others.
in. He's Superman this upcoming year.
Yeah.
He was in The Menu
Lex
last
Luthor,
year.
to clarify.
X-Men movies
I
he's
gotta
been
watch
in.
The Menu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been in things, but I never once was I like this guy's an A caliber actor, and he proved that to be true in this. And
Is he returning as Beast?
as Beast, I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
There's no talks.
They got Kelsey Grammer back.
for his cameo.
Yeah, for his cameo. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's coming back. He's too busy being Lex Luthor.
That's right.
But no, this is worth watching, guys. I really enjoyed it. It's not like holy crap, that's the best movie of the year, but solid film that quietly released on Max and delivered in every way I wanted it to.
But is it better than the other Clint Eastwood movie you watched?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
The
that,
Mule?
correct me
Or
if I'm
no,
wrong, but that had a limited
Gran Torino.
theatrical release, right?
It did.
Very limited.
Yes.
So I was trying to find showtimes. Whenever I looked, there was nothing.
The
near
closest
me.
one
And I
was
like,
Nashville. So
You had to
Yeah.
drive a
at, I
far
think the
ways.
Belcourt Theater.
which that
Not even the Music Box in Chicago, which usually has things like that.
I feel like that would benefit from a nice little. It doesn't have to be huge, but a small theatrical release. Across the board. Like if
You know what
less
else?
movies have been put up there.
You know what else had a small theatrical release?
Hmm.
My number 2 pick, Hitman. Oh, dude.
Really?
Number 2. I loved Hitman.
I know you did, but I didn't know you loved it this much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is coming as a
I
surprise, Mike.
really liked that movie. I thought it was one of the most original, energetic comedies that we haven't had a good comedy in a while. Like, what other comedies can you think of that weren't
Red One?
comic book movies or trash? There aren't that many, and the only one before that everyone online is talking about that is another Glenn Powell movie, Anyone But You. But I didn't watch that, so.
Madam Web. That's a good comedy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Shut up. So I talked about it before. So go watch Hitman. I don't have much to add after that.
Okay.
Number 2 of the year. I loved it.
Hitman. I
Hitman
really
was
got to
good.
check that
Yeah.
out now,
Hitman
Micah.
was good.
You do?
Yeah.
Glenn Powell just really got
It's so
because
energetic.
he plays multiple different characters. He's the same guy, but he plays multiple characters in the movie, and it's cool to see. Yeah.
Okay.
Bet,
number 3.
Number 3, my lord.
Never did I expect that this
Transformers.
Disney Plus show would blow me away.
Dude, Skeleton Crew.
Like
I'm
it
so
did.
happy it made it on here. Ben.
We really need to have a conversation about that show. No. I was so surprised
no
by
idea what you're
this
gonna talk about.
great
Wait.
voice acting, and it reinvigorated for at least a month, maybe a month and a half.
Oh, dude.
My love for Marvel and got me so excited for where the MCU or Marvel as a whole is going to take the X-Men.
Oh,
X-Men 97
Yeah.
was so good. Such a surprise.
Dang it.
The X-Men in general blew me away this year. Blew me away.
That was my number 3.
I'm telling you right now.
I should have taken that. Yeah.
When they and I really hope they do release this on physical media, it's a day one pickup for this 4K steelbook because
If they
I had such a good
release
time.
it in a VHS style.
Oh my gosh, yes, Stranger Things
box,
style.
yeah, that would be great.
I couldn't believe how much I was engaged with this. Ethan's like, you got to check out X-Men 97.
Go watch it.
I hadn't seen. If you haven't seen any of the original series, I hadn't. I watched a 20-minute recap on
Yeah,
YouTube.
You
That's
don't even
all
need that.
you need.
Yeah, like I didn't really do a recap either. I mean,
Just to
I
kind of
watched
prepare
the animated
yourself,
series
yeah.
growing up, but yeah, you can jump right into this. If you know X-Men, you're okay. But if you have no prior knowledge, you might need a buffer video.
But it delves into the X-Men and treats it like a soap opera. And that's how it always should be treated. That's what the movies kind of lose because they're so wrapped up in telling a story in 2 hours. But with this series, you're able to tell a more serialized version. And I think the X-Men really benefit from that. I loved X-Men 97. I cannot wait for season 2. It left it on a nice cliffhanger with multiple plot lines being left open. I cannot wait for season 2. And yeah, X-Men 97 is my number 3 pick. Loved
And
it.
it made you see like the potential that these characters have. And Cyclops, really cool in this show. Wolverine takes a back seat. He's more of a sidekick. And it's cool to see other X-Men get shine. And the story was really good. And this was special for me because it would come out on Wednesdays. I would go into work later on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday morning, I got to sit down with my brother Marcus, and we watched X-Men 97. And he loved it just as much as I did. And when the episodes would end on a cliffhanger, he's never experienced that before. Like, what? I can't just watch the next thing. And then when the season ended, he's like, Ethan, when is another? He still asks me, when's that coming out? And I told him, like, a year. You got to wait. But he's always asking, when are new X-Men coming out? Yeah.
I'm hoping that, because we're getting, right now at the time of this recording, in 2 weeks we're getting Marvel's animated Spider-Man first MCU. Well, not really MCU, but it's an animated Spider-Man project made by Marvel Animation. I'm hoping the same quality is there because it definitely wasn't there for What If, which kind of flew under the radar this year. But yeah, that's my number 3, X-Men 97.
So good.
So good. Ethan.
Me?
That I just took yours now.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, you took 97. I'm going to go this one. No, I'll save this for because my next 2 picks you guys aren't going to steal. So yeah, I won't go any specific order, but I'll go Caddo Lake. Another Max original. My uncle came over the day after Christmas, and I always he likes watching movies, but he always watches like those like movies that aren't necessarily on my radar. Like those Netflix movies and those Max original movies, those Hulu movies that are plastered all over Hulu when you turn them on, and we never watch because we don't care. But this was one of those movies. Caddo Lake, really, really solid movie. Caddo, Caddo Lake. My uncle Paul recommended it. Here, let me pull up the cast list for
what's
you.
it about?
It did get good reviews.
I've
I
never
watched
heard of this.
Stuckman's review for it.
So I don't want to reveal too much about what it's about, Micah, because the less you know, the better. I think
Is it
going
a mystery?
It's a mystery.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
it's
okay.
a mystery. It focuses on this lake, right? This Caddo Lake type thing, and there's a lot of boats. It's pretty cool, but it's a mystery. I can't say more than that, but really solid mystery, and one of those mysteries that as it unfolds, you're like, oh, like it gets cooler and cooler. Some mysteries, the curtains pulled back, and you're thinking, okay, maybe that wasn't all that
Does it feel very
interesting.
inspired by Twin Peaks?
No, it is. I mean, maybe a little, yeah, but it is very Lost-esque too. I think there's some Lost themes in there.
That gets me pretty excited.
Yeah, let me look what I compared it to here. When I wrote my review, I compared it to a mixture of Lost and Stranger Things. So like the layers of it is really cool, and the mystery of it's really great. And yeah, just flew under the radar. So that's kind of why I'm picking it here. I know you guys aren't going to steal it, but it's one that I think deserves to be in my top of the year, just because I liked it a lot. Cast-wise, it stars Dylan O'Brien, who I don't know, he's not in too much. He was in
Maze Runner,
Teen Wolf, Maze Runner. He was in Saturday Night this year, which I really liked.
Ooh, yeah.
Really solid performance. Just watch the movie. I don't want to say anything else.
Okay.
That's one of the things why I like doing this with you guys, because it's just we throw out great recommendations, and I just sit here adding stuff to my Letterboxd watch list. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check Cato Lake out. That sounds epic. Micah, number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Oh, number 3, huh? Well, there was a number 3 that came out this year. Sonic the Hedgehog.
You're not.
No,
Mike,
get out!
Get out of here!
You
no.
hater! You are such a hater.
No, you cannot pick Sonic.
Love Sonic 3. All right, I think this is the best of the 3. It takes itself the most seriously out of the first 3. Not that it's a serious movie. Come on, it's for kids.
Let him talk.
Konnichiwa. All right. Wait, you want me to talk in this mic? All right. I love what they do with Shadow. I love that they have a little Wade Whipple cameo in there. I love that Sonic isn't just the same character from 1 and 2. He actually has some, darkness, quote unquote, for a kid's movie. Ethan.
I'm listening.
No. Listen,
if
if you want to make it better,
Dude.
I have seen so much hype for this movie and fan appreciation for Sonic 3.
Yeah,
People
what
love it.
I
Yeah.
love about what they took with Shadow is that he is what Sonic would have been if he wasn't picked up by James Marsden's character. I forget his name. Donut Lord. That's what they call him. So I love that it shows how quick Sonic can turn if he abandons his friends. And all right, it's a kids movie, right? It's about friendship and teamwork, and yeah. But you also have a stellar performance by Jim Carrey, who plays alongside himself. So we have Gerald Robotnik, and we have normal Robotnik, and it's the most seamless side by side, like actor playing 2 roles in the same scene thing ever that they play for like an hour and a half. They play this bit for the whole movie, and you forget sometimes that it's 2 actors. I mean, yeah, you see they're both Jim Carrey, it's duh, but they're that different enough, and they're that goofy that you buy it and you love it. And I mean, Ethan didn't, he's a hater, but I loved it. And I love what they do with Gerald at the end. Remember the bug zapper thing? That was hilarious. And the supersonic stuff at the end was the best they've ever done. They wasted in Sonic 2. They finally do it for Sonic 3. And the potential that they have to go for Sonic 4, they could go Sonic Unleashed. They could go maybe lean into Sonic 06, because we're getting close to it'll come out in 2026, which is going to be the 40th anniversary, 35th anniversary of Sonic total, like in general. So that'll be cool. It'll be a nice celebration in 2 years when we get Sonic 4. I'm really pumped. I love Sonic 3. It'll be in my honorable mentions, but Knuckles was really funny. Go watch that too. They do a lot with Wade Whipple's character, and loved it. I love what they're doing with the Sonic franchise. I was a little disappointed by 2. They brought it back for 3. Can't wait to watch another Sonic movie with Ethan in theaters.
Yeah, I think my main problem is I'm 3 movies deep into this franchise and I didn't even like the first one. So that I think that's me, right? Like, I'm watching them to watch.
Yeah.
So I think if you like,
I will drag you to another Sonic
right,
movie.
and I will go because the sunk cost fallacy. I've seen this much of it. I'll continue to watch.
And you can log it on Letterboxd.
Yeah, right. And
Knuckles is also on Letterboxd.
Right, it is. I don't know if I'll go the Knuckles route, but no, people
only 2
loved it.
hours.
Right. I went with 3 other people. I went with my brother Marcus. I went with you, and I went with our buddy Avery.
And he loved Avery loved it.
All 3 of you loved it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was sitting there just confused at what we just watched. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was stupid, but it wasn't a movie made for me. We saw it in a theater packed with kids.
There was a birthday party.
There
of
was a
kids
birthday
that showed
party.
Up 5 minutes into the movie.
Very loud, yelling. That contributed to it. I'm not a fan of these Sonic movies. They're not made for me, but people loved it. So I'm going to let you have this, Micah. You're number 3.
It beat Mufasa. So that's. Are you happy about that?
I didn't see Mufasa. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm kind of getting at is it kind of sounds like when I got out of Five Nights at Freddy, haven't played the games, was not a fan of it. Did not like Five Nights. I think it was my least favorite project last year. But the people who liked Five Nights at Freddy's loved the movie. You liked the movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Kind of something like that. So if you played the Sonic games, it sounds like those who did love the movie, and kids, obviously. But if you haven't, it sounds like... Because I probably would be in Ethan's boat here.
It's also the highest rated video game adaptation
of
all time?
They're killing it. The Sonic movies are killing it.
It reached $1 billion worldwide, which is the most.
If you look at
almost to Mario.
The Rotten Tomatoes fan scores, I think all 3 of them are like way up 70, 80s, like really good scores.
People
We
like
gotta
them.
get Ben on the train.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I'm
Ben.
not going to lie.
Hop
I don't know if I really want to. You know what? I will, though. I will watch those eventually.
Micah told me as we left the theater, he said, Ethan, this is the new MCU. And
I think
he genuinely believed it.
I think if they go a Super Smash Bros. Universe,
Holy cow. That would be epic.
it would be as big as the MCU.
But my
you could
problem
see the
is
numbers.
the MCU started with Iron Man, which is genuinely a good movie.
And this universe started with Detective Pikachu.
Or Sonic 1.
Imagine Ryan Reynolds, Detective Pikachu, in the
Because
Super
now
Smash Bros. Universe.
you have Pikachu, you have Sonic, you have Mario.
There's a Zelda movie coming out.
Is there really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Developed by Netflix
That's crazy.
or
Dang.
Illumination. I think they got Illumination with it. Anyway,
Okay. Number 4s.
number
fours.
What do I pick? What do I pick?
I will. I don't know if I have a lot of things to say, but whenever Zemeckis and Tom Hanks team up,
Really? Okay.
and Alan Silvestri, who has a great score for this movie, I'm there. I'm watching it. I loved Here. I
wish I saw
loved
that.
Here. My wife and I went and saw that on a Friday night, I think, just because very nostalgic. Very nice. I mean, growing up with the families, the passage of time, the older you get, definitely,
How
the
do you
more
feel
you'll
about the one
appreciate.
perspective?
I love the one perspective. I feel like Zemeckis takes full use of that, and like the different scenarios he puts in that movie. The shot, it's shot beautifully. You never feel like you are moving at the same time, but you never also feel bored, which I think is probably the greatest achievement that it achieves. But you care about the characters. Tom Hanks and I'm forgetting her name, Robin Wright. They're fantastic. Great performances,
Was
great
the CG
score.
de-aging?
Just because I know what not Robin Williams,
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks looks like now, I can kind of tell. The voice, especially. I don't know how much de-aging they did on the voice, but you can tell, but it doesn't ruin any scene.
Okay.
And just technological wise, achievement wise, like it's just cool that someone went and did this, and I think he knocked it out of the park. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. Check it out if you haven't seen it. And I lied. That's not the only time I teared up. I did tear up during Here at the end of the film, just because it makes you think about a lot of your family. It's a relatable movie. It just is. And I think the nostalgic quality there will draw more people in. But yeah, Here is my number 4. I really enjoyed that movie.
I think Avery said he cried during Sonic 3, so if that means anything.
That's crazy.
I also cried during Sonic 3.
Yeah? Was it the
not
little
the good
boys
guy.
behind you kicking the seat? Or?
No, it's for some other reason.
Ethan, number
Tears of
4.
Joy, no doubt.
Number 4.
Yeah, Tears of Joy and my need for therapy. But I'll go. This one you guys aren't going to steal, but I want to give it a shout out. I'm going to go Snack Shack.
All right.
This is a coming of age film that takes place in the 90s. Adam Rayheimer or Raymer. I don't know how to say his name, but I don't know. He hasn't really made anything that I've seen before. But this one, I saw a little buzz about it earlier in the year as a summer release. But then no one has even really talked about it all year. I watched this. I loved it. I really liked it a lot. It's vulgar for my listeners here. There's a lot of F-bombs in it, so just know that. But Connor Sherry, who I've never seen before in anything, and then Gabriel LaBelle, who he was in The Fabelmans.
I gotta watch that.
What else was he in? He was in Saturday Night this year. Also really good. The Saturday Night movie. Go watch that. But Gabriel LaBelle is my he probably should have been my performance of the year. But no, they just had really great chemistry together. It's about these guys who open a snack shack at a water park. And it's just, classic hangout summer movie. Some drama arises. There's a girl involved. There's some fighting going on. But it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just a fun summer film. And I always love a coming-of-age story because, I work with youth. So I think that age group is really fascinating. And seeing a movie that kind of approaches the transition of childhood to adulthood, it's something we all went through. And what is the meaning of life? What's our purpose? I think it's really interesting ideas, and this one does it really fun and really fun like music, really good editing. There are some good Tarantino homages in it. It's just fun movie. Fun movie. No one's talking about. Snack Shack. It's on Prime actually.
I added it to my watch list on
you go.
Letterboxd just now.
There you go.
Another movie that no one really talked about that I really enjoyed was The Bike Riders.
That was last year, Micah.
No, it wasn't.
It was last year. We didn't watch that this year.
Wait, what? I thought that was this year.
No, go check.
Ethan's right.
We watched that last year, Micah.
Well, then never mind.
Your list is so bad.
Watched June 22nd, 2024.
Bike
But it was
Riders?
released in 2023.
So was Hitman.
We did not watch that this year.
June 22nd, 2024. We watched that this year.
Yeah, you know what? I do remember that being in theaters.
That
You know
is-
what? I count it. Go
that
ahead.
was another
Count
one
it.
of those movies.
Yeah.
That came out this year. You're
Yeah,
right.
That was
Wow.
another one of those
Okay.
movies that, like Hitman, was in the film fest cycle a year before
Yeah.
it even released. So everyone was waiting for this movie to come out, and then the hype died down, and then it came out, and nobody watched it. But I loved it. I love the atmosphere of this gang of bikers that isn't like what you'd think of a gang.
When did you get married? Just
June 1st.
okay. So
This was after
yeah,
my wedding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. I was wrong.
Yeah, because we watched that, and then like the next week we watched Long Legs or something.
No, Long Legs was cold out.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah, Bike Riders. It's about this Chicago bikers gang that starts off as a bikers club. It's a club. They just hang out, they drink beers, they ride their bikes, and that's about it. And it's just a community where, in a world where they feel outcast because they ride a bike, they can find this camaraderie and watching each other's back and just helping each other out. But then over the course of this movie, it becomes more of what you'd think of a gang. People start driving in from Norman Reedus. Actually,
Reedus shows up,
up from California and transforms the definition of what this gang is. He's like the first domino to fall. And then there's
Right.
these other guys that start showing up.
I'm going to read the cast just because it is a really great cast.
Yeah, star-studded cast.
Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, who is in, what is it? Not the Fall Guy. She was in Free Guy. Jodie Comer.
Tom Hardy does an amazing job. He does another one of his like little voices that completely removes the Tom Hardiness out of like he's a different character.
Michael Shannon.
Loved him.
Norman Reedus.
Really?
Yeah. Good. Man, I didn't even realize this came out this year.
Yeah.
Feels like a
love-
movie John Bernthal would be in.
Disappeared. Oh, totally. Yeah. It disappeared. So it's based on this book of pictures of this gang. So a guy followed these bikers around, interviewed them, took pictures, and it's like a picture book with these interviews. And they made a movie about it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the coolest things to me. It was so original, and it's so rooted in Chicago. And Chicago's history is built. One of the pillars of Chicago is these biker gangs, and to learn about them and to, like, this is part of where unions came from, was from these biker gangs, and to see that on film is really cool to me.
Yeah, and we all seek, community and identity in something, and this movie tells the story of guys who do that, behind a Harley Davidson and
And a chopper.
Yeah, good pull, Micah.
Yeah, if I had to recommend one movie from this year that went into it's got to be The Bike Riders. I feel like nobody watched.
It's not going to blow your mind, but it is incredibly solid.
It's really well written, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah. Okay.
It knows what it
pick.
wants to be so well, and it executes it perfectly.
Love that. My number 5 pick is a movie we talked about quite a bit. Probably going to be a little bit controversial. I just had a great time with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
I really like that movie. I like the theater experiences. I like going with you boys. I went and saw, again, we talked about it kind of already, but saw it twice that night, and I just had a great time with it. It's not going to revolutionize cinema, not at all, but I love what Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were able to do and achieve with this movie, having it become the highest grossing rated R movie ever. And I think it deserves it. It's a really well-made, crowd-pleasing movie that I had a great time with. I'm not really going to go any more into it, but we talked about it enough. But Deadpool and Wolverine's my number 5.
Fun popcorn flick, but you don't want to bring your kids to. But
That's true.
Yeah. No, I mean we got a lot we could say on it, but cameos, and the writing for Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds was right where you'd want it to be.
The scene
really
in the
good.
car when Hugh Jackman basically like cusses him out, and he's like, "You got anything to say, mouth?" That's genuinely a great bit of acting by Hugh Jackman, and good by Ryan Reynolds as well. They just have great chemistry, and I'm glad this was able to finally utilize it. I wish the 4K Steelbook would come down in price. That's my last note on that.
It will one day, probably.
It will,
maybe.
yes.
I don't know.
Watch Grove. It
Yeah,
came
there
out
you
at
go.
that period where people they were picking up Steelbooks at Walmart,
Yeah.
but then it was lost in the mix. Yeah.
Yeah, or is physical media on a rise? Is that what we're seeing?
I think so.
It
It's
might
up.
be.
Streaming spending is down 25% from last year. Pretty crazy. Ethan,
Number 5.
All right.
worst of the 5.
Worst of the 5. No, I wanted to call this the worst of the 5, but there are a lot of series that I didn't get to watch this year. A lot of ones that I wish I could have gone back and watched. But one that I did watch was a Prime original based on a video game. I'm going to go Fallout right here. Fallout was...
you watched it?
I did watch it.
Cool.
Fallout was a really fun...
With, what's her name with the bug eyes?
Yeah, Bug Eyes.
She looks like the chick from Rango.
I heard she was great.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
in Arcane too.
I hear that's great.
Season 2 came out. I gotta watch that.
Series finale.
Yeah, fun series that you could binge, but standout performance is from Walton Goggins, who plays the Ghoul. And Ben, you would love the Ghoul. Western Red Skull. He kind of sells this. It's a good premise. Really, I'd never played the games, but it's Fallout Shelter, and then there's stuff going on. There's some mysteries involved too, but Walton Goggins as the Ghoul really sells it. He's a perfect cowboy, mystery villain-esque character. Really fun. Ella Purnell is who has
that's
the
right.
bug eyes, and also this one brought Moises Arias back into the forefront, and he's from Hannah Montana. He played Rico. So having him come back in a series was good. Zach Cherry also in this, who plays Dylan in Severance. So he might come back later today. No spoilers here. But, no, really solid series.
Isn't Severance Season 2 going to be out by the time this podcast is out? Isn't it this weekend? Next weekend?
I mean, they release weekly.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
I guess so.
it's not
Which
a
I'm
binge.
so happy that they're not releasing it all at once.
But no, yeah.
How about that
think there's one-
practical power armor.
There's one fast forward scene in this show, so have your remote ready. You can look at the IMDb Parents Guide, be prepared for that. But yeah, solid show. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. I like when these big budgets are thrown in a good way.
Are actually used.
Yeah.
The
Where,
right way.
like, you can actually tell Fallout had some care and a lot of effects budget was used, and that's great. Not just spent on Chris Evans and Rock Johnson. Not that I'm naming any names for movies, but
you just did. Micah, number 5.
I didn't say the movie name. I'm gonna go with a movie that was kind of torn down because of its public facing posters. Unfortunately, they went AI generated for the posters on a movie about photography. Isn't that crazy?
Why did they do that? Yeah.
Why did they? Civil War is a movie that I went in because I love Alex Garland movies. I've seen Ex Machina. I've seen Annihilation, I think, is also his. And there's one more I'm forgetting. But really great sci-fi that he's done before. So I was really interested to see how he would tackle a war movie like this. And the perspective is that you're following these two news photographers, one seasoned, one brand new, played by, what's her name?
Kirsten Dunst.
No, well, yeah, Kirsten Dunst. She's the seasoned one, but
Kirsten,
Kirsten
whatever.
Dunst, yep. But the younger one is
Cailee Spaeny.
Cailee Spaeny, who was also in Alien Romulus. She had a great year this year as well. And she was, oh no, I'm thinking of the other girl. But yeah, their dynamic was really cool. I love how, if you're into camera hardware, it's storytelling with the camera hardware, where like Kirsten Dunst has the best of the best from a few years ago. But Cailee Spaeny has an all-time classic. And it shows, because she uses film, while Kirsten Dunst uses digital, where it's just the little things like that. It's shot in an aspect ratio that is what the pictures they're taking on would have been. And they have these slides that they show that are just beautiful pictures that would have been, like, they're super realistic, would have been in these riots and would have been in these war zones. And it's such a cool take, and how they end it is tragic and beautiful, and I just love it. Give this one a shot. It kind of went, I mean, it was one of those early year movies that no one really watched, and people dogged on it because of the stupid AI posters. And they're like, oh, it's just an election year movie or whatever. But I like how neutral it is politically. It's not talking about, oh, the left is bad or the right is bad. It's talking about, all right, bad people are bad, and we shouldn't be.
And who are those bad people?
We shouldn't be blindly following.
Micah?
We shouldn't be blindly following what leaders say, and we should be, if a civil war is necessary. I'm not saying this is what's going on in real life.
If it is necessary.
If it is necessary, we should be ready to revolt. And I like how it shows both sides of this argument in this hypothetical civil war, where each side of the civil war is a mix of each in real life. And Jesse Plemons does a great job. He shows up. Did you know that Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons are married?
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are.
That's cool.
Yeah. So a little bit on screen.
Makes sense why
chemistry.
he'd show up for one scene.
Yeah, that's the person that you see in the trailer. It's only one scene, but whatever. Really powerful movie, unexpected. It's what you wanted to get out of that one Kevin Bacon movie from last year.
Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon
From last year?
Yeah.
Did we watch
I don't
it?
recall.
Mahershala Ali.
And Kevin Bacon? Did we watch it?
I did.
You watched it.
I don't know how to spell his name. Mahershala Ali. There we go. It's called Leave the World Behind. That's what I wanted out of Leave the World Behind, but way better.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. That's our top 5 of 2024. Now, before we get into the most anticipated, briefly, at the risk of this becoming an 18-hour podcast,
Do not talk anything
pick
about
three.
our...
Pick three. I need you guys to pick 3 projects just to list them off honorable mentions
Ooh,
of
do I have
2024.
three? Okay. Any of us?
Yeah, go ahead, Ethan.
All right, I will go Inside Out 2. I thought was a really stellar
Okay.
sequel. Probably could have picked that for my best score of the year. I don't know. It just most sequels, especially the Disney ones, I mean, compared to Moana 2, but they just feel tired and they just wanted to make the money. But Inside Out 2 genuinely felt like they were trying, right? Yeah, it's a sequel to make more money, but I think it capitalized on what the original was and added some really cool emotions and explored a different part of Riley's life. So I'm going along with it. So that's my first one.
List them.
Second one, I'll go Saturday Night. I mentioned it.
Good pick.
Movie. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
No.
But I've heard it's great.
Yeah, really solid. That one's also vulgar, but what it follows is the opening night of Saturday Night. And it's really cool. Right when that ends, you're compelled to, all right, let me go watch the first episode of Saturday Night and see how it compared. And then third pick, I will go Heretic.
Ooh, yeah.
Mormon film.
I heard this was good too.
It was good. I saw it with Johnny,
I wanted to see
your
it.
brother-in-law. We sat in a love seat, like front row. Love seats are cheaper, guys. Not we weren't trying to be weird or anything, but we saved $7 by picking a love seat. Yeah, really
stayed
good.
warm.
Hugh Grant really got me to think, right? As a religious person, it's cool to see a movie that's main goal is to explore religion. And the exploration of this was really cool. And it was just a good, solid thriller.
Awesome.
Yeah, so those are my three.
I like it. Micah?
Gonna go quick with these. We Live in Time, super cool, but didn't have
man.
that punch at the end as far as I wanted because the whole movie, you know where it's gonna go.
I saw Heretic. We went to the theater to see We Live in a Time, and then I'm like, Micah, how many nudie scenes are in We Live in a Time?
There are some boobies in the movie.
That's why I didn't watch it, but I wanted to. It looked great.
Great movie.
Because of Garfield, obviously.
Great movie. We're gonna go A Complete Unknown. I thought Timmy did a great job playing Bob Dylan.
James Mangold.
We got I'm blanking on his name. I said it earlier in the podcast. Hulk Edward Norton.
Yeah.
He did a great job, and I love how it breaks down this genre of music and the evolution into Bob Dylan's reign. I loved, or not really reign, but you know what I mean. And then we'll go Alien Romulus because I thought it was super cool and visually interesting. I thought all the practical effects in it was really cool, and what they do at the end with the alien is awesome. It's not just a retelling of the first one again; it's a reimagining of it, and I think that merits its own film.
Nice. I'll go quick as well. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Good.
I didn't see it. I wanted to.
Good continuation of that universe. Not as good just because Caesar's so magnetic,
Right,
but
you need
yes,
Caesar in there.
It's still really good. Good soundtrack too. Godzilla times Kong. I just had a really fun time with it.
Times Kong.
It literally is.
Is it?
Godzilla X Kong?
Right,
the
I know.
New
but
Empire.
I've never heard someone say Times Kong.
It's
I've heard X.
What does that equal?
Godzilla X Kong.
It equals a new empire.
It equals a new empire. Exactly. I had a lot of fun with this one. It was a big monster movie fighting, and I liked it. As long as they keep the humans out of it, it's going to be a movie I always show up
Except
for.
-1 was good. So
Which one do I want to pick? I'll do the Fall Guy because I had a better time. But since we haven't said anything about it, I'll take Gladiator 2. Just because I didn't love it, but I did have a good time
Did
at the
get the
theater.
cool popcorn bucket.
And the popcorn bucket.
the best parts about Gladiator
epic.
2 was when it just copied the first one.
That's mainly one of my big issues with it. But yeah,
Like why not just watch the first one?
exactly.
Anyway,
So yeah, those are honorable
Anyway,
mentions.
we're
It was a
done.
great 2024. I don't know where this. We might have to do like a decade ranking one of these times, starting with 2020 and seeing where we
2030 we'll do
last.
that.
Who knows where we'll be during that time? But
Recording podcast.
as far as years go, this was kind of a hit or miss. You never knew what was going to come out each month, if it was going to be good or bad. I think we got a decent amount of good, fair amount of mid, that's for sure. But we're done. We're done with 2024, guys.
Get out of here.
Forget it.
Yeah,
We're at
'cause-
2025 now.
Exactly. We're looking to the future. We're looking to the future, and there's a lot of great projects coming out in 2025. So we're going to do the same draft order as we did for our best projects of.
Right. So based on our picks from last year, just to remind everyone and our new listeners, Ben won the draft from last year, so he gets to lead us off this year.
Yes, and I've been doing a lot of thinking because now it affects next year's draft when we do this. Oh man, I've been thinking. There's a lot I could pick, and there's a few that I want to save because I know Ethan's going to take them.
You're going to save them for me?
I'm going to save them
You don't have
for
to
you.
save them for me.
I'm going. Well, I'm going to save a couple, but there's one that I am going to steal from you, and this is in no particular order. I'm not saying this is my most anticipated.
But it's your first overall pick.
But it is my first overall pick.
The one you don't want us to steal.
With overall everything else, it's Stranger Things season 5.
Okay, all right. You can have it.
Stranger Things season 5. I should say season 4 really, really took me by surprise, especially because I was not the biggest fan of season 3. Season 2 was a step down from the excellent season 1, but season 4 got me right back into it. The marketing was off the chain, and then everything after that, the music, the acting, all the storylines, except for one of them that kind of fell flat for me, was epic in season 4. And the way that they leave it in season 5, even though the ending was kind of a little rushed, leave it to be set the stage for an epic season 5. I just can't wait because it sounds like it's going to be super emotional. These characters who we all know and love are going to have their final season, and I cannot wait to see how the Duffer Brothers end this. So Stranger Things is my pick.
Can't wait to see how they cover up that one dude that got cut in half.
I'm forgetting your reference.
The football player at the end.
Oh, yeah. Holy cow.
Right,
That's
The
true.
line just cuts in.
Yeah, where they do like an in memoriam of all the other people, but the poor football dude that got cut in half. Whatever.
I can see this getting good reviews as well. Although if they somehow like ruin it or something, do something crazy,
we'll see.
Who knows? It could be a massive fan backlash. But that's my number one pick.
No.
Ethan.
No.
Do I do it, Mike?
Dude, you don't care about this movie.
I don't.
You
but
don't.
I
He
care.
wants to steal
I
it.
care if I steal it from you.
No.
Don't do
Because
it.
I still Furiosa, isn't it?
No, I don't care. I just think it'd be really fun.
Fine,
to take
do
this.
it. I don't care.
No, because there are things you could steal from me that I'd be upset with. I'm not going to take Mickey 17. That's been on Mike's list for over
I
a
know
year.
that's not your number one. There's no way.
I'm going with Severance. I'm going with
Are you
Severance.
serious?
Yep.
Why would I not be serious?
No, that's such a valid.
That's
take.
the number one?
Listen.
Yep.
There are
I would have
things.
thought that's your number two.
No, listen, I struggled with this because there are some projects. I don't want to say them now because if they're still on the board, I'll take them later. But there are projects coming out next year that I am so excited for. My favorite all-time characters coming back to TV next year, but I would be regretting it if I didn't take Severance first overall here, because when I watched it 2 years ago, second it ended. Well, you realize as you're watching it, this is a special show. This really is special. Ben Stiller directs. Adam Scott stars in it, and
So good.
Just one of the. I even got you two onto it, so I'm really happy about that. One of the best shows I think currently airing, and I love Lost. I love a good mystery, and I think the idea of Severance is so cool. Going to work and then having your mind severed into two parts. That premise alone makes it really cool, and then Adam Scott and all the actors playing two different characters. I have to take this one overall. My January biased. It's so close. But I would be mad if I let this slip through my fingers because this is one of my favorite shows on right now. Severance. Going with that.
Sam and I just started a rewatch of season 1 in preparation for this. So I actually need to give you guys the Apple TV passwords. Great number one pick. Fine.
Mickey 17.
You almost got it. Look at Ethan. It's not even
Ethan,
on
I need you to
Ethan's
trust
radar
me
right now.
one last time. All right.
You can take Mickey 17.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, all right. Mickey 17, 2 years running. Wait, is it 2 or
Seriously.
3?
No,
2 or
I think
3?
it's 2. It's 2.
Dune was 2 years running, wasn't it? I don't
I
remember.
think Dune was just
one.
one.
So Dune
Yeah.
2 years ago got pushed, and then this year got pushed.
Yeah,
so
let's see what
you can pick
I can anticipate this year
Yeah.
that will be
just get a
delayed.
year head start. Pick the Batman 2.
I think Nosferatu was delayed last year too. I anticipated it, and then it was pushed to December. So yeah, Mickey 17. I'm pumped. I heard there's a crazy nude scene in it, so Ethan's excited for that.
Thank you.
Dang.
For,
You're welcome.
targeting me.
You're welcome, Ethan.
All right.
I know you always look for those, so
I look for them so I can avoid them.
yeah.
But thank
True.
you for
Yep.
Hey, anything for you, Ethan.
yeah.
This one's out in April, right? Or did they
I
switch
think
that?
they put it to March because they swapped it with some kids movie or whatever. I
Okay.
forget.
Yeah, they did bump it up.
It does. From the trailer.
Stephen
it does
Ewan.
look good.
I love
Yep.
Stephen.
Yeah,
Stephen Ewan.
they're working around the IMAX schedule. That's what they've been waiting for. I don't know if I'll see this in IMAX, but because it's not like filmed on IMAX cameras or anything. It's
Yeah.
just like watch it on the big screen, like Kraven the Hunter, like Red One.
It's a good
I
pick.
sit in this theater and I imagine what would Red One look like on this. So yeah, Mickey 17. I'm hoping it comes out
Yep.
this year.
I
It's
think
been
it-
done for 2 years. Come
I
on,
think
Bong
it will.
Joon-ho.
I think it will.
Okay.
All right, Ben.
I'm going to take this from you because you've got too much good stuff to talk about. Andor season 2. You have too much to talk about, bro. You got too much to talk about.
I was looking at my list. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting all the ones I
No.
want.
I
So
forgot.
I'm talking
Andor
Andor
2's coming
season
out.
2. I know you are more of a fan. Chime in if you need to, but I just got the 4K Steelbook for Christmas. We just did a rewatch of that, my wife and I. It's great. It's just solid Star Wars television. There's not a lot of it out there right now. There's not a lot of good Star Wars television out there, and I am very excited just from the rumors. I won't spoil anything, but the rumors I've heard about season 2 sound like
this
it's gonna
isn't
be
even a
step
rumor,
up.
but it's the most expensive Star Wars thing ever.
Good.
That's a
It should
fact.
be.
Yeah. So
Good. Yeah, they
more budget than any movie season 2 has
And
got.
with that, it has me so excited because Disney, even though they've said like they've haven't had their hands in it, like it sounds like they're putting a lot into this, a lot of care.
If
And
this bombs, Star Wars is done.
I don't think so, but
Oh, because there's still Mandalorian and Grogu.
I think a lot of people who were brought back to Star Wars with Andor would kind of go away if this bombs, but I don't think it will. Everything tells me that it's going to be an electric season finale. It's going to lead right into Rogue One and A New Hope. So I cannot wait for Andor season 2. That's
Excited.
my number 2 pick.
Yep. Though also one of the best shows airing right now. Oh man.
Take it.
Okay.
Come on.
I don't know.
Are you guys gonna take it if I don't take it here?
No.
Take it.
No.
I won't
All right, I'm gonna go Daredevil Born Again. The return. Why are you giving that look? Is that not what you thought I'd take?
He thought you were going to pick something else. I knew you were going to pick this
Okay. Yeah.
TV shows are not on my radar anymore. I've been burned too many times
Yeah. Well, that's your problem.
because I watched.
You're not.
Crappy Invasion.
It's because you haven't watched Lost. You haven't seen good TV, Micah, in a long
I watched
time.
Breaking Bad. What else do you want from me?
All right. Daredevil Born Again.
Bored again, more like.
Shut up. You haven't even seen season 3. Don't even talk to
Because
me.
I gotta watch 4 seasons of other shows.
No, you
before
don't.
I watch season
No, you
3.
Just
don't.
jump
I
into
didn't.
season 3, Micah. Don't even.
It's worth it.
No, the return of Matt Murdock, and it really excites me because normally when things are rewritten, you're a little nervous, but sounds like all the rewrites and reshooting that they've done to this have really been in service of tying it into what the original series was. So the first 3 seasons aired on Netflix, got canceled. A really good ending, I'd say, for what it was for getting canceled, but then now we get this opportunity to bring it back. And the excitement is there, but also the reason it's not number 1 is the fear is also there. I really want this to be good. The Man Without Fear, yeah, I'm fearful for this season. Because, these characters came back really shortly in Echo. Vincent D'Onofrio was a little off in Echo. Charlie Cox was barely in Echo. Cool stuff, but I want this to be good. I do. But my thing is, I don't know if it will touch what has already been made because the religious writing that they gave Matt Murdock, I don't know if Disney's going to do that now. I don't know if that's something they do for Charlie Cox. So I'm excited for this. Favorite fictional character. I love Matt Murdock. I love Daredevil. I hope it's good. I don't know if it will be.
Either way, it's going to be interesting when it comes out in April, I believe. We're getting a lot of peak TV shows. Great pick. Micah, number 2. Don't.
Minecraft movie.
No,
Dude,
no.
I am so excited to see
is
how
on
the
my list,
Minecraft movie is. Oh man.
Yep.
Like, all right. So first trailer comes out. Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be
Looks
stupid.
trash.
Second trailer,
Still looks trash.
hey,
Peak.
directed by
Pig.
Jared Hess. I love Nacho Libre. I love Napoleon Dynamite. If this is another one of those, it could be good. This could be a really great movie.
Yep.
And
You know it'll make $1 billion just because Minecraft.
you'll know it'll make
When
up a
we add
trillion.
box office into next year's draft,
Yeah.
Michael will kill it with
Do it.
Minecraft.
Oh man, Minecraft and Mickey 17, they're gonna blow it out of the water.
Equally hit.
Yep.
Blow Nessie out of the water.
Dude, good pick. It was on my list too. I'm kind of sad that I can't pick it
I
because
stole it from Ben.
I can't wait for this. It's gonna be. I just can't wait to go and have a good time.
It's
going
going
to
to be
theaters.
a cinematic experience.
It was my third pick, but then I switched it up to 2 just so I could fake you out with
It's going to be as hype as Sonic 3, but actually maybe be good.
I'm just
So
surprised.
here's what's interesting, Micah. Will Ethan pick it? Because I don't know if he's getting this. I'm not
getting
gonna
it. I know what
Yeah.
you're
Okay,
hitting
all right.
at. Yeah.
Okay. I hope you pick it because if
But
you
I
don't, I
have-
need to pick it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are
gonna
gonna.
pick
Are
it
you
right
gonna
now?
talk about it? Because
I'm
if
gonna
you're
talk
not
about it. Yeah.
okay, you are okay. All right. I'm just.
But
just making
if
sure.
you steal it, my list is open. So I can fill.
I'm not.
He just
You're a
said-
bigger fan.
he just has Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible.
That's all I got. Those are my next 3 picks.
Ooh. Okay. You guys are gonna steal the next 3, so I'm just gonna go F1.
When's that other Tom
Why
Cruise movie?
why would you go
coming out?
F1 if we're not going to steal
You're
the
not
other
gonna
ones?
steal my other 2.
We're not?
And I want to talk about this one first. F1, a movie that is kind of under the radar right now. Brad Pitt is there.
Well, its budget is 250 million, right?
But the reason I am so excited is two big reasons. Number one, Joseph Kosinski is directing this movie. He directed one of my favorite movies, Tron Legacy. He also directed Top Gun Maverick.
And Only the Brave, which
and
you
Only
love.
the Brave,
Yeah.
which I love. I am anticipating an electric movie. He has a way of filming his movies that is just like all over the place, and there's a lot of action. He's a great action filmmaker, and the story behind this is also great. But the number one reason that I am so excited about this movie is that my boy, Mr. Hans Zimmer, is doing the score. So this is the Top Gun Maverick crew coming back to make a racing movie. I just watched Rush, and it's an F1 movie. So my anticipation is probably a little higher than it probably should be for this, but I cannot wait to see F1. That is my number 3 pick.
You might like Senna. You heard of that?
I was actually recommended that yesterday by
The documentary is really good.
Jared, yeah.
I didn't watch the miniseries, but the documentary is really good.
I got to check that out. Ethan, number 3.
Do I do it? All right. I'll go. All right.
Wallace
Mission
and
Impossible.
Gromit. Oh.
I'll go Mission Impossible. The Final Reckoning. I love these movies. I love what they've been doing lately. Fallout is one of my all-time favorite movies. I really like Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is now just titled Dead Reckoning. And this one, Tom Cruise is teasing the final mission. Reports came out that there might be 2 more, so I know what you're doing marketing. I think
One last
I'm excited
time.
for this. The Mission Impossible movies have hit a groove, and sure, you can say they're copy and paste at this point, but you're allowed to copy and paste when the formula is that good.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, right. Yawn. Don't even lie. We haven't watched them all, me and Micah together, but the last one we did watch, you liked.
I did.
You liked it a
I'm
lot.
glad we
So-
all-
He hasn't even seen Fallout yet.
he hasn't
so
seen
let's
Fallout
just
yet. So
temper expectations.
Mission Impossible 8, super excited for it. Don't have much to add. Tom Cruise coming back. Whole team's coming back. I hope that, I won't spoil it for Micah, that a certain character comes back.
Yep, that would be nice.
I want her back. You know who she is.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Maybe.
Hey, who knows?
But
yeah, you would want her back, wouldn't you?
I would.
I want you back.
I'm excited for this. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning.
Yep.
Or Final Reckoning.
I
Let's
cannot
see what
wait.
it is.
in May.
IMAX. Can we see this together on IMAX?
Yeah, I'll watch it on IMAX.
Okay, good. Done.
Micah,
What's the movie called?
What did
are
you
you
just
going to take it?
28 years later.
Oh, okay.
I know.
All right,
I was just trying to egg you on.
That's good. I'm like, what? No, I want to talk about
I
it.
know.
28 years later is
Go,
good.
Mike.
28 years
good.
later, I haven't seen the first two, but I can board the hype train.
Yep.
I'm pumped.
Yep, I'm there.
Danny Boyle. Oh, I don't think he's doing this one, but Danny Boyle is confirmed to do the third of this new trilogy, and Cillian Murphy will be returning? For one of them. I don't know. I hear he dies.
There's a
in
lot
the
of
first two.
yeah. There's a lot of rumors going around with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. It was all filmed on an iPhone 15 Pro Max with heavy lenses and stuff. That'll be cool to see.
But they throw that on there. Oh, it's filmed with an iPhone.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the telescope.
But
What's
cool is that's because the first movie, 28 Days Later, was filmed on a camcorder. So that's why it was cool.
So
they're
trying
doing
to,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So
homage.
I'm going to go see it's in IMAX. Okay. Can't wait.
Sure. IMAX, iPhone 15
Yeah,
footage.
right.
It'd be like watching our podcast
Good.
in IMAX.
That's right. Isn't that your phone?
Yeah.
The iPhone 15 Pro
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Dude.
No way.
You heard it here first, folks. Filmed on the same equipment as 28
Multiverse Monologues.
years later.
That is a cool fact.
It's actually on their poster.
So I
You know how sometimes it'll be like shot on RE Flex.
I
It'll
should
be
put that on our thumbnails. filmed with iPhone.
shot on iPhone.
Shot on iPhone.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
So I'm taking a risk here, guys. And this one probably
It's not going to be stolen.
Probably no, I'm not. But my risk is that this probably won't do very well critically. But nevertheless, I still am excited for Tron Ares.
I know. Oh, yeah.
I am really because Tron Legacy is so good. I am so excited to see what they'll do.
rewatch it.
9 Inch Nails is doing the score for the movie. Atticus Ross, who did the music for Shogun, is going to be, he's part of 9 Inch Nails. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do the music.
But there's a Morbius cameo.
I mean, Jared Leto is in it, so we'll see what happens. But I am there for the visuals of the Tron franchise that they knocked it out in 2010, and I can't wait to see what they'll do in 2025. Tron Ares is my number 4.
Awesome.
Ethan, what's it gonna be, bro? You gotta take one of them, because I'm not.
So this is fourth pick. So
Yep.
if I get my 4 and 5, I'm gonna be pretty happy. But
Okay.
it's too perfect here. With my fourth pick, I'm gonna pick Fantastic Four, First Steps. Whatever. Shut up.
Fantastic snore.
The reason I picked this is because basically public perception, Marvel's dead. The MCU is kind of, I mean, they'll still make movies, make money.
There's $2 billion movies coming out next year.
This one needs to be good. Fantastic Four needs to be good. And
Captain America doesn't need to be good.
listen,
If any movie does,
That's true.
because Captain America, new character. Old character, new casting. Anthony Mackie coming in. Thunderbolts.
Oh, 3.
I don't think Thunderbolts is going to hit people the way that a new Marvel movie should.
Black Widow did well, right?
No,
Not really.
no, because it did. It was released on Disney Plus
That's
same
true,
time,
yeah.
so it didn't do too well. There's a whole dispute with
That's right.
Scarlett Johansson, but this one, not only do I think it does need to be good, but I think it actually could be really good. Matt Shackman's directing, the casting turned a lot of heads. People weren't happy with this, but what the casting did say was they're serious about this with the caliber of people they're bringing in. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Backrack. These are big names.
You pronounced it
Right? They're coming back or they're coming to this movie. Right? And Michael Giacchino is doing the score.
That's going to be good.
What we've heard and seen already looks really cool. And wisely, if this is building to Secret Wars, wisely, this is set in a different universe. This isn't set in our MCU 616. So they can do whatever they want, right? There can be any world logic that they do. They don't have to worry about what the MCU is doing. They can focus on making a good movie. And I hope that's what they do. And I don't even care if RDJ shows up in a, freaking post-credit scene. I don't care. I don't want to focus on that. I want this to be a good movie. The First Family, this is what put Marvel on the map back in the 60s, is the Fantastic Four, their first team of heroes. And we haven't seen a good Fantastic Four movie ever.
what?
Right? So
Although we do have to watch the 94
We
Fantastic
do have to watch
Four,
the 94 still.
canceled
So
one.
uh,
It would
I'm
make
gonna.
David Zaslav proud.
It's set in the 60s too. I think that could be fun, but an alternate 60s. So
Yeah.
we don't know. Releasing around Valentine's Day, I think it could be fun. I'm excited for this.
Fantastic Four.
Ethan, will you be
No,
my
the
date
the
to
poster
Fantastic Four?
poster is Valentine's Day on it.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. During
Right.
the movie. I got you.
Right.
Okay. Good number 4 pick. I like it. Micah?
This isn't my pick, but is The Bear season 3 coming out next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 4. Season 3 already happened.
You serious? We're on 3 now.
He's so behind.
Was 3 this year?
You watched 3.
Was 3 this year?
3 was this year.
Dude, I took it off my list because I put season 2 on accident. I forgot there were 3 seasons.
Yep.
All right. Well, I loved The Bear season 3. I thought it was very artistic, and Napkins episode is, mwah, loved it. I'm gonna go with. Oh man. Well, my top 5 had. I'm not taking that one.
I feel like we had better. Like I have a list that goes
All right.
to 20.
I'm
here.
excited to see FNAF 2 because
Micah, you can
they
have
say that they're ramping it up. I loved the baseline of what they did in FNAF 1. It's not perfect, but I enjoyed it, and I like them taking these steps towards these huge fan bases that never got big projects.
That's fair.
Yeah. FNAF never had a big budget, so them giving them a movie from Blumhouse, that's huge. So I hear this next one's gonna have more gore. It's gonna have more of like the Bite of 87 stuff. It's gonna have more of what you think FNAF is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you giggling?
No. The Bite of 87 reference.
Bite of
can't be
87, yeah.
Chuckling.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what it's and I'll be sure to steer clear of the theater I saw the first one in because the speakers was all crackly and stuff.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. 4th
FNAF
pick.
2.
You should have saved that for your 5th pick because 5 minutes.
I would say that. Too.
Oh,
well, and
shoot. I wasn't
because
thinking.
there was no threat of me around taking.
No.
Well, there's nothing else that my 5th is definitely deserving of 5th.
Ethan, are you... Ethan, you should go first before I do.
You're
I'll allow
handing
it just
first pick.
because I
See,
need you to take a 5th
This
one.
one, I was debating taking this first, and I'm surprised that it has slipped all the way to 5th.
Because
But
I'm not excited about it.
do you even know what I'm talking about?
I
don't
hope
think
I
you
do.
Yep.
I want you to guess what you think I'm going to say.
Death of a Unicorn.
Death of a unicorn? No.
Superman.
Yes.
Presents.
I'm taking Superman here.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
so
good.
surprised
Not
that
pumped.
Because I was going to say that, but go ahead. Go ahead, Ethan. It's your pick.
Like I was talking about how the Fantastic Four needs to be
tempering.
good for MCU, but if any superhero movie needs to be good next year, it's this. It's Superman. It's the start of James Gunn's DC universe. And Superman hasn't had and say what you want about Man of Steel, but he hasn't had a genuine portrayal of Superman since Christopher Reeves back in the day, right? Man of Steel was different. It was a different take. You like that or not, but this is like going to get James Gunn is trying to go for the heart of who Superman is. And I watched the trailer once and I was like, oh, I don't know. Then I watched it 4 more times and was like, oh, actually, I'm getting sucked into this world that James Gunn has created. And just the very hero of Superman. So us 3 are Christian men. You know, Superman is Jesus, but as a comic book character, right? He's God man, lives with man, has to limit himself living with us. And that's who Superman is, right? Sacrifice his own needs for the needs of the world. And not only that, but the symbol of hope. Jesus is the hope for humanity. And in this fictional world, Superman is hope. So I think that if they do this right, this can be really good. That's why it's number 5, because I know early screenings, things haven't been too great about it. But casting I think is great. David Corenswet as Superman.
I think the cinematography is going to be insane.
Do you think it's going to be
Yeah,
good?
the guy's history. So he did do The Flash. All right, everyone keeps pointing at that. But I'm pretty sure he did Guardians 2 also. And the stuff from the trailer of Superman very impressive stuff. The way they change lens sizes so quickly, and it's going to be a very interesting movie to look at, and I think it's one to catch in IMAX.
Yeah. And then
So-
Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I think she looks the part really well.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult, I was iffy on, casting him as Lex Luthor. He still looks a little goofy, bald, but I fully believe that Nicholas Hoult can pull it off.
So, Ethan,
Yeah.
the question is, will you be tuning into the Puppy Bowl?
The Puppy Bowl?
Yeah.
Why, is that when the trailer drops for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even know what the Puppy Bowl is.
It's going to be a 1 minute, maybe 30-second teaser of
It's
what's
during the Super Bowl, right?
the Puppy Bowl is
It's after?
it's
What is the
before
Puppy
the
Bowl?
Super Bowl.
It's
The
like
Puppy Bowl?
puppies jumping around.
No way
and-
you don't know what this is, bro.
Dude, this is my most anticipated project of
Yeah.
2025.
There's like
That's
a good
number 5 for you?
3% of the population who just tunes into the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
Micah's part of it.
Last
It's
year I was-
before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
that it
It's
takes
just
place.
puppies in a pen that's a football field, and they make touchdowns for their teams with the toys.
It's cringe.
They're not
It's-
trained or
it's-
anything. It's just,
I love dogs. This is great.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
But there is
it's
a
the
teaser.
equivalent of the Yuletide fireplace on Super Bowl Sunday.
Guaranteed the whole trailer is going to be focused on the dog.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Cosmo.
Cosmo,
And I know that's
yeah.
what you're excited about. So I grew up watching Superdog or Crypto, whatever it's called, and I thought that was cool. So
Yeah, I've also tempered my expectations like Micah has. After the trailer, I don't know.
I mean, there's a reason why it's
I don't
fifth
know.
place, not first or second or.
I was
third.
gonna mention it, but I'm glad you took it
Mm-hmm.
because I think you probably have the most hype out of the three of us. So I'm glad you took it.
I'm surprised. I don't know. I'm excited for it.
No, and I am too. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know if
I
he'll be
thought you were gonna
good.
do.
I don't know if-
Wicked for Good.
I
You
do-
were
I
so
do-
positive about it.
If my draft went horribly wrong, Wicked for Good would have been, like I have it on here.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
all my
no.
picks got smushed.
Nobody
Holy
too.
catfish.
I do have nobody too.
Oh, yeah?
Honorable mention, yeah. But we're not done yet. We can't do
Yeah,
honorable
yeah.
mentions yet. Because
So
Ben.
it's not necessarily that I'm like the biggest fan of this franchise, but I am a fan of James Cameron, and I
Avatar,
love
huh?
the,
I forgot
I
that's coming
love
out.
the effort that
Did you see?
he
Water?
puts into it. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I
haven't seen it.
I just
know.
bought them both. Because I
4K?
I just think they're so impressively
let me borrow 'em.
made. They spend so much time on it. I wish there was a better story to go with it, but it's just so impressive every time I sit down and watch these movies, especially seeing The Way of Water in theaters. It might not have the most revolutionary story, but I am glued to the screen just because everything I'm looking at is beautiful. And this time it's going to be new tribes called Avatar Fire and Ash. So we're going to get to see a new world of Pandora, a new tribes, and I'm really interested to see where he takes it because he's got 2 more coming out after this.
So they did a world record of longest underwater scene where they're holding their breath, right?
Yeah.
Are they gonna do like longest person on fire?
Dude, the lengths that
burned
James
to a
Cameron
crisp.
will go. It's like I admire him as much as I admire Tom Cruise for just loving
Just the
film as an
craft.
art
Yeah.
form
Yeah.
I'm hoping
and wanting to propel that medium forward. And I think James Cameron is one of the leading minds behind that
James
nowadays.
Cameron's thing has been water for such a long time.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what his fire thing is.
But I
Because
like,
like water, he had the connections because he had the submarine tech and like he's a huge proponent of the or whatever like helper of the submarine expeditions and
but I think going elemental is a good idea for these sequels because you at least
the
have
Avatar
you have a
series?
theme. Yeah,
to
well,
further
yeah, right.
confuse it. This is gonna be great.
You have a theme going into each movie, but you are behind Jake Sully and his family now, and I'm hoping I feel a little bit more for their family. Avatar: The Way of Water didn't like pull me in as much as I wanted it to.
didn't drown you.
It didn't drown me exactly. It didn't blow me out of the water
Shut
like
up.
we've been talking about. But Micah, end us off. Last pick for 2025.
Flight risk.
No way.
Don't
Who's
do that.
direct? Is that Mel Gibson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, you can get
Is
2
it
free
really? I
tickets
didn't
right
know
now.
that.
So
Guys, come on.
Yeah. My pick would have been Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, but it came out since I made the list.
Ooh.
So, but I haven't seen it yet, so I guess it still could count. But I'm gonna go with a wild card here
Captain America.
because I'm gonna go with this little movie.
Or Thunderbolts.
I'm gonna go with this movie that I liked the previous in this series of films, and I'm interested to see.
Is it starring?
I don't know who it's
the internet's favorite.
I have no idea who's in this movie.
No,
I liked Invisible Man. I'm going with Wolfman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Next
Yeah.
week.
Next
That's
week,
Dude, you wanted to see that?
That's
I'm
coming
not
out.
seeing it next week. That's why it's 5th. But I'm gonna see
I'll
it.
wait and see that with you.
Yeah?
If you want.
Okay, well, I'll watch it
I
with
want to
you.
watch that movie.
If
yeah.
you're gonna watch it, then I'll watch it in
Can
theaters with you.
I
Yeah.
come, guys?
Dude.
Yeah.
No,
I
stay
will
home.
think about it.
Did you watch Invisible Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Invisible
borrowed it
Man
from
is
Ben.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, based on Invisible Man, the trailer looks bad.
It does
The
look. I
trailer
agree.
looks
I agree.
trash.
But it's Lee Winnell, and who knows? I'm hoping it's tense and
Yeah. I mean,
kind of spooky like
were there any
Invisible Man
others in
was.
this series of like
No,
remakes?
but they're kind of looking at
Yeah.
maybe because they're doing along with this in the same universe. Christian Bale is doing The Bride of Frankenstein,
Oh.
and he's going to be Frankenstein in that. So
I hope they
it's
tie
something
the
like
Tom
that. Don't
Cruise
quote me on it.
Mummy into this.
Yeah, no, that one's dead. That one's dead in the water.
With the Tom Cruise cameo.
Yeah.
I like
All
that.
right,
I like
I'm
Wolfman
sold.
though. Good
I'm
pick.
sold.
Wolfman. I'm going Wolfman.
Projects that were not on this list at all. Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out in July.
Boo.
That's Gareth Edwards, right?
Gareth Edwards
Yeah,
and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. So
So
Presents?
I'm hoping
that could
they can
shock
redeem.
us.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can redeem themselves after the terrible
Wicked 2.
Dominion.
Wicked 2, not Captain America, Brave New World, not on here. Thunderbolts, not on here. Mike, I'm gonna do some weird edit to that, and you're gonna regret doing it.
Death of a Unicorn, I think, is going to be really fun.
Yeah, what are we missing? Are we missing anything else?
Yeah, like a
Ballerina,
billion things.
Yes.
Ballerina, yep.
John Wick,
Yes.
spinoff. Edgar Wright has a movie
I wonder
coming
if
out
Ana
next
de
year.
Armas is going to be in
Untitled.
Running Man.
Ooh, okay.
Our favorite Ryan Johnson has his third Knives Out film
it.
coming
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Okay, I'm excited for
Wake
that.
Up Dead Man.
Those are good movies.
That's coming out. Wednesday season 2 is coming out.
The Bear, season 4. Bro.
Yeah, I think.
Thanks
I
for
think
tuning in.
we
See
hit
you
on
later.
both.
Yeah. So
night,
that's
guys.
what we've got in store for 2025.
We'll see who
If-
wins the draft next
This
year.
is
If
going to be
you're
the
at all-
quickest and the
Yeah,
good
right.
podcast ever.
No, if you're at all interested in seeing us, and
I gotta
probably,
pee for the last hour.
oh
dude.
yeah, it's been a long one, but we thank you for sticking with us.
It's been a while. I hope this makes up for it.
Yeah, I know it's
I
been
don't
a while,
know if
and
it does.
who knows what we have planned for 2025?
I think honestly, these are the most boring podcasts we record, like to listen to.
yeah.
Like I think.
Well,
our-
I like listening to people review movies.
Right,
really
but-
quick, rapid fire.
But I think like talking about one movie for extended time, that's a little easier to follow and listen to. we're jumping around a ton.
Well-
But listeners, let us know.
I like it also. It's just for historical data to
right,
find out what I loved and
This is a
looking
diary.
forward to. It's kind of the same way I view Letterboxd.
Although I don't know, like
So-
hype wise, we're not like. Oh, I think this is our third year doing this.
Our most temperate.
and we're kind of like movies can be good, movies can suck. You know?
Our top 2 years, or our top 2 movies this year were like,
we're cynical. I don't know. I don't want to be cynical. I am really excited for Stranger Things, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2 blew me away in 2024. So movies can be good. Movies can. You are talking to three guys who, the older we get, the more jaded we get with cinema.
The more
because
movies
just remember,
we
we
see.
watched
Yep,
all the Marvel
exactly.
movies.
well, not all of them. We still need
And
to continue with
the
that.
last award I would like to give for the night is Cinephile King. Unfortunately, it was not me this year. Ethan,
Was
you
it me?
bear the crown. You
Most movies in
most
2024.
movies,
Wow.
most time wasted in 2024 goes to Ethan Wenzel.
Dang.
We could talk about that because most time wasted. Someone got married. Someone bought two someones bought a house, and
Someone
neither,
watched multiple.
Neither of those someones
many-hour
were me.
movies. That's
so You could talk about who wasted time this
Exactly.
This year. Yeah.
Ethan got busy.
And got busy. Yep, that goes to Ethan.
Yeah.
You know what? That should be some award. We got to go out.
Speaking of getting busy, let's get on out of here.
That's true.
I gotta get
You've been with
busy.
us. Yes.
Taking a leak, bro.
You've been with us for long enough. We can't guarantee.
We've been with them, each other long enough, so
We cannot guarantee when we'll be back on the mics, but
we're here
next
today.
week for
we're here today.
Cherish us.
exactly.
Let us know what kind of movie reviews, content you want to see in the future. If you want to see a marathon, if you want to see just an individual review, if you want to see us go through like a list like IMDb top 250 or something like that. The yawn list. Look at these three white dudes talking about Shawshank.
Yeah, right.
Ah!
Dude,
My dad would love that.
no,
honestly.
Shawshank is just too good.
And if you're missing the content from us, yeah, one, let us know. But then two, rewatch this episode on half speed, and you got a 6-hour podcast right
That's
there.
right.
So there you
To
go.
last you a
And
while.
we'll sound super drunk. So
That's true. But for now,
do we not sound like that anyway, Micah?
depends on if we're talking about the Talk to a podcast for
We'll have to
our
see,
main
next year.
intro. That's right. But for now, this has been Rayside.
This is Ethan Westloff.
and the Oscar goes to Micah Head.
And we all hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day and a wonderful new year.